Welcome back, everybody, to Present Company Included, the podcast with the three of us. As always, I am TeddyGrizz, joined by Gleeman and Rhino Rocks.
Hello.
Hello.
Today's video is one by Mauler. We're going to be attempting to react to a Mauler video. This one's only 40 minutes long, one of his shorter ones. Um,
I think we'll
so,
get through 10 minutes.
if we're lucky. Um, Gleeman was the one that selected this video today. Gleeman, you want to give us a little background on what we should know about the video?
Okay, so for those of you that are new to Muller's channel, he does breakdowns of movies. He's most famous for his breakdown of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. He does not only breakdowns, but his unbridled rage or praises for movies, which is basically just his thoughts and his initial analysis without actually going too deep into how the movie is made, the history behind the certain IP that he's going into, and all of the story components. Um, with this one, it is an unbridled rage, so he is going to be tearing this movie apart. There will be spoilers. If you haven't
That's good to note.
seen the movie, then absolutely, well, I wouldn't encourage you to watch it, but if you want to
I
see
think
it
this is an
before,
upright rage.
uh,
Maybe you might want to just wait for the reviews on this one. Hear about it from your friends first.
maybe.
If you're
Uh,
still unsure after a name like an Unbridled Rage, if you're unsure if Mahler's going to like it or not, Gleeman, scroll down to show him the description. I thought it was bad.
That's amazing.
That's it. The perfect description. I have not seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. Wasn't really planning to go and watch it. I've seen all of the other Tom Holland Spider-Mans. I don't know why, but this one it just there's no urgency for me to go and watch it. So I'm not really worried about the fact that there will be spoilers that'll be spoiled for me or whatever. But what about you, Rhino?
So I love the Tom Holland Spider-Mans. I know that they're very much not the traditional friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and they've kind of lost that in the whole Marvel big CGI world-ending fight kind of thing. They kind of brought Spider-Man in out of his element.
Right.
The one thing
mhm.
that keeps turning me away from this movie is every time I see a clip or a teaser from it, it looks like it was made with AI. Like, and not good AI, like not someone who puts a lot of time and effort in and really like edits it down. This looks like it came out of China, not in a good way. This looks like something that your mom would watch like late night scrolling through her feed
Mhm.
with just like an AI dub voice going over it. And then Tom Holland was covered with bees. We don't know why. Like it's just it's dark. It's kind of like a grayish yellow tone, and it's sort of unappealing looking. I haven't seen too much of it, but from the trailers, it was not very appetizing. It didn't make me want to rush down.
Gleeman, was there, or have you seen the video, or have you seen the movie?
Oh, absolutely not. I had to watch the Odyssey just due to the mixed reviews on it. This one, no, 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 no. Um, I had already heard plenty before I was like, ah, that is not something that I'm going to allow Disney to have my money.
Well, I think I saw that Critical Drinker actually gave it like a decent review for Spider-Man. So,
As I was telling Rhino, the bar for storytelling these days is on the ground. So it doesn't take much for most normal audiences to say thumbs up. That was
Well,
good.
You know, if a movie ticket costs $1.50 or something, and I could just go to the movie theater as a way to be in an air conditioned room for a while, and then I really wouldn't care if the movie was terrible. But when a ticket costs like $20 a piece, so something close to that, my wife and I going, that's $40 plus concessions being who knows how much for a bucket of popcorn. It's way too expensive for it not to be a like at least an 8 out of 10. It needs to be at least an 8 out of 10 for it to be worth me putting out any money to go see a movie.
that's actually kind of something good because you mentioned you and your wife going out for the night. Going to the movies used to be an event. Like
Mm-hmm.
the movies and movies, they've always been like a little on the expensive side. You go to the movies, the popcorn's a little overpriced, but you always kind of shrugged it off because you were like, it was a thing
Entertained.
for the family. Like once a month, you take the kids out, you go see a movie, you sit down, you have a laugh, and everyone had a good time. I can't think of the last time I went to a movie theater. Like nothing has actually, I can. I think the last movie I seen in a movie theater was it might have been either the Lorax or Bruce Almighty. Like that's how
Good
far we
lord.
like
That's
going
quite a
way back.
while.
I don't think the movies have always been a big event. I guess it depends. Have you guys seen the movie 12 Angry Men?
Oh, I love that movie.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Fantastic movie. One of cinema's greatest. But one of
Hmm.
the big points
classic
in that
versus
movie
never
is
seen perfect movie.
one of the big points that they make through that is that like somebody doesn't remember the movie that they saw in the movie theater. And it's because they did double features and it was hot and people did go and buy tickets just as a means to stay out of the heat for a while, just as a way to just kind of hang out somewhere so they wouldn't necessarily be paying super close attention to this double feature because it was essentially the cheap show for people to go and watch.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So it wasn't always a big expensive event that people were um, dressing up for. It certainly could be, especially on certain nights or whatever, but there
Well,
were times when it was cheaper.
I don't think Rhino was specifically talking about like it being like an expensive event or something like that, but it was. I feel like there was a time, especially in the late '90s, early thousands, when going to the theater was like you could do it monthly. You could see
Yep.
a relatively good film and walk out
Not a ton of
going.
money either.
Exactly. It wasn't a ton of money, and it was just a special thing that you could do on the monthly basis of a little treat for you and the family to get out of the house and go, go have some fun. It was one of the ways to have fun.
Right.
Um,
I mean,
Skating rinks used to be a thing.
oh hell yeah. The old throwback was if you had a date, you took her to the movie, you watched the movie first, and then you went to dinner so that way you had something to talk about.
Hmm.
Yep. Now,
And
my
that was
birthday was last month, and my wife and I were looking over the movies that were playing, thinking, well, maybe during my birthday week or whatever, we'll go to a movie sometime, and
yeah,
that
cute
would be
date
fun.
night.
I'm looking, and there's literally nothing that looks even slightly interesting to watch. Like, really, I'm appalled by what is available, especially at the prices. Now, I have to harp on this. I'm sorry. They always are like, there's always this big hubbub every time a new movie comes out. Oh, it's made more money at the box office than ever before. It's setting box office records. Of course, it's setting records. Every other year, you're doubling the price. Every oh, we sold 100 tickets and made $100, and then the next year we raised the price to $2 a ticket, and now we made $200. We doubled our income. Yeah, you didn't sell any more tickets. You just jacked up the price. Of course, like that's like the biggest no duh. It's not a big flex to be like, oh, we have a bunch of inflation, and so we're making more money. Oh, God, sorry. I hate that. I hate that big like, ooh, it's big celebration of
His
box
money's worth
office
less.
numbers.
Thanks, Obama.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, all right. I think we've detoured long enough. Real, real quick before we jump into this video, before you hit play, Gleeman, uh, people listening, if you have any particular videos or that you would like us to watch, or anything in particular you'd like to us to discuss, leave a comment in the comment section down below. We will review it and probably not do it. I mean, that's not true. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We'll
Actually, I
consider it,
love when we
totally
get
deny.
I love when we get suggestions from people, and it's been really fun being able to do stuff that is kind of new for all of us. It makes it a little more interesting, I think. So let us know if there's anything you want us to react to or talk about. Anyways, hit it, Gleeman.
Okay.
Big screen.
Spiderman Brand New Day is a
Pause
story
that
about
real quick.
Jean Grey, a telepath trying to find her
Hey,
kidnapped
Gleeman, pause real
sister.
quick. Can we go back to that intro logo real quick? Like,
All
we
right,
haven't
we're
even
starting at
started.
intro logo. Okay.
How fucking boring does that look? Like, this is your big intro to the fucking movie, and it just comes in. It's got like this pasty red with like candy apple yellow that says brand new day. It's bland. There's nothing to it. They don't even have like Spider-Man cross stitching. There's nothing artistic about it. It looks like a college student is just passing their CSS and needed to make a logo for the test. Like, it's awful.
I'm going to be on the other side of this one than you, Rhino.
Oh, perfectly fine.
I think,
I'll allow it.
as we were talking about earlier, Spider-Man has been this big, like, massive stakes franchise, right? We've been into outer space fighting Thanos, all this other stuff. I think Brand New Day is them trying to bring him back home and make him into that more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, trying to rein it back in somewhat. I don't know for sure, but that's
You're
kind of my
100%
understanding.
right.
And I think that this logo here more portrays kind of a old school comic book feel that is more down to earth than the big budget stuff has been.
It's funny you say that, Teddy, because that was the expectation coming off of No Way Home, was that he was going to be the nice, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man again, and this movie was supposed to bring it back down to like the local level, like the
Right.
a nice neighborhood level.
Marvel walked so Into the Spider-Verse could run.
Oh no.
But
Your laughter, Gleeman, worries me. Is that not what I'm getting out of this movie?
Just wait.
Okay, okay.
can we agree that the yellow is a little off-putting because it's very bland, and this looks like Play-Doh in a cookie cutter?
I wouldn't say the yellow is off-putting. I would say it's the font. It's very much the font. It almost like I would say like this kind of font belongs more in Dune than here.
Honestly, that would make a little more sense. I could see that as something like, especially with that E and W, with the way that it's presented, being something like futuristic or sci-fi.
Yeah, I can
Hmm.
definitely see a sci-fi ness it being used in sci-fi. It didn't initially stand out to me as terrible or anything, but I can see associating it with sci-fi.
Okay, sorry, I just had to point that out.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
Story about Jean Grey, a telepath trying to find her kidnapped sister. The DODC, or Department of Damage Control, captured her sister, and so Jean's plan is simple. She will
I I love the understatedness of Mauler because he this is a trope of his. He likes to understate something so that when he shows what really happens, it's that juxtaposition. he says something, oh, this plan is simple, and then he goes into how convoluted the plan is. And it's
Really
just,
sets the
wow.
tone for you.
I'm honestly the idea of bringing Jean Grey in, though, Jean Grey itself is not a bad idea. I have heard enough about this movie to now that I'm remembering that it's Jean Grey in there. I've heard enough to know that they treat her very dirty. They go very wrong with it.
Absolutely.
Like, just to be honest with the audience and everyone,
Yeah.
that's some knowledge I'm coming in with. But I don't hate the idea of introducing X-Men. I've always loved the X-Men. X-Men has always been one of my favorite
Oh, yeah.
superhero groups. So the idea of more X-Men movies, especially if they can actually get it right.
That's the
Um,
caveat. That's the big asterisk at the end. Because the X-Men, like in general, it smokes and fucks. Like we didn't know how good we had it in the old Fox X-Men movies and even like the 90s cartoon.
hmm
You see what they're
dude,
coming out with now, and it's just not great. Lackluster at best.
the '90s cartoon was great. I think there was even like an early 2000s cartoon that I really liked. One where they were like in they were all in school at the time. I think it was like Teen X-Men or something. I don't remember the name of it.
I
Um,
remember I just specifically remember from that cartoon all the clips of Rogue dancing, and I think that really changed my lifestyle. That really set me on a path.
oh, Rhino.
Mind controls civilians, forcing them to drive tanks into DODC correctional facilities, killing countless innocents. She will set.
Okay, so I'm going to backtrack so you can hear this in its entirety, and I'm going to refrain from pausing just so you hear just how convoluted this plan is compared to her plan is simple.
She will mind control civilians, forcing them to drive tanks into DODC correctional facilities, killing countless innocents. She will set off explosives within the tank to cause extreme damage to the building, killing countless more innocents and releasing criminals. She will use her mind control during the panic to reach a particular member of the DODC that will eventually facilitate the release of Scorpion. She will then mind control Scorpion and have him attack a DODC data center in the hope that she can ultimately discover the location of her sister. She could have, instead, mind-controlled the director of the DODC by gradually jumping through the facility, gain his memory of what happened to her sister while calling up any information she wants with his authority without endangering herself or anyone else whatsoever.
Yeah, that's immediately what I was thinking is if she was trying to locate her sister, why didn't and she has the ability to mind control people. She has the ability to not just mind control, but to read their minds. Then why did she not just read the minds of the people that would know where her sister is?
Also,
Exactly.
is caveat here, is Professor X still alive in this?
That has not been stated.
Yeah, I don't know how canon anything is at this point because Marvel, but if
uh,
Professor X is still alive in this world, he has Cerebro. He can find any mutant on the planet.
Well, that's the thing is since
I think
this
any
would be
person.
the beginning of the X-Men in this universe, then he might not have Cerebro. He might just be beginning himself.
Okay, so I'll let that slide because ambiguous time frame.
And it could be that the mutants are just entering this universe because of like multiverse shenanigans type of stuff.
Typical Marvel bullshit. They can't even keep track of it anymore, to be fair.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when knowing they have zero defense or expectation for this. Hell, she could have done it while he was sleeping at home, and she could have dealt with him with none the wiser upon discovering the truth. Unfortunately, these preschool level thoughts would end the movie immediately.
Yeah, it seems that's just not everything that I know of Jean Grey from every incarnation of her, aside from like when she is uh,
Or
the
Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. Aside from while she is Dark Phoenix, when she's just Jean Grey, this is nothing like she ever behaves. This is not her
She's the goody
style.
two shoes.
Yeah, that's what I knew her to be as well. She was just the genuinely good girl, like, or woman, depending on when she's depicted and her age, but she was the nice one.
She she was the like person of reason in the group. Like when everyone else was ready to crash out, she was the one who was like, "No, no, that's not right. Let's focus up and come with a plan." Like she was the
Absolutely.
moral center to an extent. Because to be fair, the X Men was a I have a rogues gallery
Hmm.
in and of itself. When you think about like Wolverine being the most obvious one, but then you had guys like Nightcrawler. Beast was a little morally ambiguous when it came to the science. So they needed someone to be like the moral center, even outside of
Hmm.
Professor X, because he couldn't be everywhere all at once, although telepathy he probably could have. But so they needed someone kind of like on scene to be the good person. And she really fit that bill because she was the clean cut person. She was actually
Hmm.
kind of paired perfectly with Scott because Scott was another, or Cyclops was another like very morally good centered person.
Yeah, both of them being sort of paragons. Although, if I remember correctly, like Cyclops, he's much more like she's more of the mercy, he's more of the justice
Yes.
side.
He is very
Yeah.
much more of the like macho, stern, I'll do the right thing, but only within reason kind of person. He was much less of a bleeding heart, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So we have to make her a titanically retarded, aggressively psychotic shitmole. Anyway,
Love it. With away with words.
He's quite the wordsmith.
Ah,
Spider-Man attempts to stop her. In response, Jean mind controls MJ and tricks Peter into thinking they can be together again, only to reveal the truth and threaten to kill MJ if he gets in the way. All of that instead of simply telling Spider-Man, the bona fide hero of New York, that she is trying to find her kidnapped sister.
Like they are going out of her way, or out of their way, to make her a straight up like the most villain of the villains in the
yeah.
MCU.
So yeah, like Spider-Man should stop her. That's
It's
absolutely he's
it's what they
absolutely
do with
right to
all the
stop her
heroes.
when she's doing what she's doing.
Absolutely.
It's just really weird. Could they not have chosen any other? There were other psychic mutants, right? Like
Now
this could have been done.
I have heard rumors that it wasn't supposed to be her when it was the script initially was written. It was not supposed to be Jean, but they wanted to introduce her, the X-Men for Doomsday,
Jesus.
and so the basically the higher up said fit X-Men as someone notable from X-Men into this Spider-Man movie. That's what I heard.
I will pitch you a better movie right now, right? Jean Grey is looking for her sister, right? So instead of whatever the fuck this is, we get a buddy cop movie of Spider-Man and Jean Grey going through New York City, busting bad guys who are towards the end revealed to be, super secret government facility.
Hmm.
They crawl their way through, they fight their way through. We get a nice reveal of like, the big mutant catching robots. I forget what they were called. Remember
Oh, the
those big
Sentinels.
Sentinels? Maybe we
Sentinels.
get like one good big reveal of a Sentinel, at the facility. And then you find out it's a head evil super duper guy revealed to be someone cool like Mysterio because they did the snappy thingy, so everyone's back alive now. So you could have Mysterio making them evil. You're welcome, Marvel. There's your next better movie.
I don't know
The
that
thing is
Mysterio
that,
would work because Mysterio didn't die from the snap.
right.
Mysterio died from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not really
Marvel
Spider-Man.
doesn't know what happened in its own movies anymore. I don't think it'll be a problem.
That's fair. I
Well,
mean, they are bringing what's his face back, but now as evil. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of
yeah,
his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's going to be Victor Von Doom now.
Which is a great role for him, but like to be fair, Robert Downey Jr. would be a great Victor Von Doom if he wasn't already known as Iron Man.
Right.
And I'm surmising, this is just me guessing here, but he's going to be an alternate universe Tony Stark who maybe got
What?
adopted and took on the name Victor Von Doom. That's what I'm guessing. Because they have to explain why he looks like Tony Stark.
I can't wait to see the reviewers, like the real shills, like crying over how good the movie is. Like, oh, he's back. It's beautiful. It's going to be fucking awful. We're going to get so much mileage out of it. You're going to get so much mileage out of these crying fucking tweeters.
Oh.
You know what's going to happen. You know it is.
I think your idea of them doing like a buddy cop movie where it was Jean Grey and Spider-Man going through the streets, Jean
It's
Grey
much
not
more
being as
fitting.
powerful, look, scale her power down to the point where she's still kind of a fledgling, where she doesn't have the
Yeah.
ability to completely mind control people, because
He's a moderate
Jean Grey,
telepath.
she was a moderate, exactly. She was never as good at getting in people's mind as Professor X was. She's more telekinetic than telepathic. I think that could have
At the end
been
of the
really
day,
cool.
with that concept, you're back. Where are you? You're on the street. You're fighting low-level criminals. Even
Mm-hmm.
if they make their way and they funnel up to like a higher government or like a shadow society or something, you're still fighting crime on the street, being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's fitting for what you're going for. And yes, they can, have the big grand reveal of the big bad guy at the end with like Sentinels, or maybe show a couple of like interesting villains that are like unique to the comics, kind of a wink and a nod, like, oh yeah, here's this one bad guy who happened to have worked for the government at this time. You know what I mean? Like Raven. Raven worked for the government all the time. Like, because Craven wasn't a quote unquote villain, he was more of a mercenary mentality. So anyone who
Mm-hmm.
paid him right could use him. So you could have the big government officials using Craven as the bad guy. Craven would be great for that as like a kind of meat and potatoes villain.
Oh, absolutely. And like for and I would say
Marvel, we're
bring
available.
bring back Spider-Man's like rogues gallery.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, they kind of
Uh,
tried to a little bit in this one. They said that they had Scorpion, right? Scorpion gets
they had
released,
they
and
had
the
That's actually
Scorpion's
Punisher.
body. They had Scorpion's body. It was
well,
Jean, though.
here's
Oh,
the
so
thing.
so
They
Jean was
revealed
controlling
that in
Scorpion.
Homecoming.
Yes.
In
Okay, because it
Homecoming,
said,
sorry, go ahead, Teddy.
I was just saying, because it said that it released Scorpion, so I thought that Scorpion was just running rampant, doing his own thing now that he's released. Like Jean Grey released him, but if she's actually controlling him the whole time, then you're right. That's lame as hell.
The
They do
ending
have the
scene.
Punisher in this one, though, right?
Yes.
Ugh,
That's a lot of people actually to be shoving in here.
they're not
Uh,
qualified to handle the Punisher. They're too fake and gay.
Mauler agrees.
But like at the end of Homecoming, if you remember right, when the Vulture went to prison, the guy he was talking to, that he said, if I knew who Spider-Man was, I'd kill him. That was the Scorpion he was talking to.
Before he
Like
became the Scorpion, yeah.
they had set up, because of Homecoming and then the following movies, they had set up the Sinister Six so well, but they just didn't have the balls to do them right and to actually use them. You had Electro, you had Vulture. In the following movie, you had Mysterio. Like, the pieces are there. Green Goblin, everything you could ever want. Doc Ock, they
Hmm.
were all in it. But they just couldn't handle it correctly, and they just shit the bed from start to finish. They had to make
Although
into something great.
I will say, like the home series, I personally do like the home series. I'm for Far From Home, it's kind of like a 5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
It's very mid.
Homecoming, I
But
think, is by far the best
oh, absolutely, bar none.
because
I
that was very
love
much
Homecoming.
friendly neighborhood Spider-Man handling something localized.
Yes. And it was a lot of world building actually
Hmm.
with Homecoming. Some of the best world building that there is in the MCU because you have um uh Tombs, right? Uh that's the last name, Tombs.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, anyway, the Vulture.
Vulture.
He comes out of what happened in Avengers 2012, and like his whole origin story comes from that. And
And it's a
then
good story. Like, it's believable
absolutely.
why somebody would turn to crime to get out of massive debt.
Exactly, because like he saw an opportunity and he was going to be like the cleanup crew, which is fair,
Yeah.
seeing as that is a thing. And then the government coming in and stealing his thunder and then like keeping him from making a business for himself, and then seeing an opportunity with alien tech to
that's
get
just a good
ahead.
reminder that you guys don't hate the government enough.
Yep. You'd be shocked at how much I hate the government. I might be able to put that to the test.
The government exists to get in everyone's way, one way or another.
Yep.
That's not quite a quote from Malcolm Reynolds. I couldn't hit the quote just right. I don't remember the exact words, but it's similar. It's almost what he says.
Yep.
Anyways, sorry. Please continue.
Which would consequently end the fucking movie. Why in the world does she opt to torture a hero instead of enlisting him to find her sister? Well, because her soul is as black as a befouled fucking bin bag.
Well, yeah, she's the bad guy. She's not going to get
Yeah.
him to. She's not going to try and get him to help her because she knows that she's the bad guy and he's the good guy and he's going to try and stop her.
Does
Like
she know
the
that she's the bad guy?
No, they don't think she's the bad guy. They think that she's a sympathetic victim of circumstance, and they think they wrote her well.
Yes.
They're wrong, but that's what they think.
They think her actions are completely justified.
Yeah, every time.
who's
In
they?
their
The
minds,
writers? The
The
writers?
writers. The
The
writers.
writers are.
retarded.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced they actually believe that. They might be saying that out loud. They might be saying that in defense of their film, right? I think
Oh,
that they know. I think
just
they
you
know,
wait.
especially since
Just
you had said that it wasn't originally going to be Jean Grey, but they had to force Jean Grey in, and so it was someone else that was supposed to be the bad guy.
Well,
I
just
think
let
they
him
know.
finish summarizing here. Just
Okay, okay.
Jean eventually decides to mind control Bruce Banner. This leads to the release of the Hulk, the destruction of another building, and the almost death of Spider-Man. Meanwhile, she mind controls the Punisher to break open a security system in the hopes of finally discovering the location of her sister by confronting the director of the DODC. Again, something she could have done day one without harming a single additional person. Spider-Man
Have we
neutralizes
considered that
her. She
maybe
is
she's just real dumb?
well,
Like, she has these powers. Just because she can read people's minds doesn't mean she's smart. A lot of times we associate like psychic powers with intelligence in media and stuff, but if it's a random mutation, she could just be a dumbass and is just like doing blunt, dumb things to try and get her end goal without really
he
having a
seems
plan.
to be intelligent enough to know that she needs it. while not being intelligent whatsoever. But there's some intelligence involved of I need to get access to the DODC servers to find out where my sister is. And I need someone who is capable of accessing that. That's not a dumb person's thought. Now, it is rather dumb when compared to like going straight to the source, like the head of the DODC, and just accessing his mind and finding out where her sister is because she has that capability. But as far as her plans are concerned, they're not necessarily dumb, I would
It
say.
doesn't sound like
I'm
any
going
of
to go
her.
ahead and say they are because we've seen this done better in another Spider-Man movie. I'm going to say it once again, Into the Spider-Verse. Do you remember when Spider-Man broke into the building and was crawling through the vents, and it was the facility that had Dr. I want to say her name was Octavia.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Totally totally legally distinct Doc Ock, but that was a break-in scene that was handled much better. And it was entertaining as hell from start to finish.
I would say fair. I'm just saying from this standpoint, the plans that she has, I wouldn't attribute to a dumb person.
I
Okay,
think
that's
there's
fair.
a much bigger flaw with
Well,
what I'm
the
hearing in here than the actual plan itself, and that is all the cameo slop from a bunch of people who aren't supposed to remember him and are supposedly scattered all over the place. Why are all these people in one like general area where he can just trip over them?
well, the okay, but setting that aside, because I don't know, I don't have a good explanation for that. It seems to me that even though she is mind controlling people, right? That's what she's doing. It does. She's not. Her plan doesn't require mind control at all,
No,
right?
not even
She's like
slightly.
breaking
That's
into facilities and
I-
stuff.
that's what I was about to say is her plan though, it would be really good if she didn't have the capability of mind controlling people.
It feels like this would be just way better if they chose Magneto as the villain or something.
Hmm.
Honestly, like make it. He's near the beginning. They were she was controlling drivers or something, right? She was controlling drivers of tanks. If he
Hmm.
was just instead Magneto physically controlling the tanks themselves, that would make way more sense as to how a lot of this played out.
Yep.
Like I still think that my issue with it is the bigger issue because I think of it this way. Imagine you're walking down the street and Mike Tyson comes out of nowhere and whoops your ass. Now, what are the odds, first of all, that Mike Tyson, of all people, came out to personally whoop the hell out of you? Then, after that beating, while you're on the way to the hospital, Evander Holyfield also sees you and decides to beat the hell out of you. That's two people that you should not run into on the same day, and yet there they are. It's just
I,
unnecessary cameo gratuity. It's look, we got those names that you like, and we crammed this full of them. Aren't you gonna love it?
I agree, and actually, Mauler does address this on their episode for EVAP, um, which is Mauler's podcast. Everyone over at his channel Mauler. Just a little plug there. Um, but
Yeah, go
in
subscribe
their
to them after you subscribe to us.
Indeed.
after like on that EFAP episode, they do mention that everything everything seems to happen in New York. Like the rest of America is not available to them, it seems. And granted, Spider-Man is intrinsic to New York as well as Daredevil is, and that's kind of the names that they're hinging on
Hmm.
recently.
Right.
Um, but it is getting a little tiring to see all of these like famous characters just in one place on the planet.
Constantly tripping over each other.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually becomes all-powerful, holding countless innocents hostage, surely killing several more. To then mind control the Hand into attacking Spider-Man to the point of having someone stab themselves through the belly just to hurt him. Spider-Man defeats them and reaches Jean, who then threatens to kill the entire city if Peter gets any closer.
That's what a good guy would do. Yep. Nailed it. First try.
Oh,
Peer review? Never heard of it. We don't need none of that.
It's like mind-boggling that.
But guys, she doesn't know where her sister is. Her sister is missing, therefore killing the entire city of New York is worth it.
Isn't it so sympathetic and understandable?
Absolutely.
This is fucking awful.
Anytime anybody loses a loved one,
Jean
they
Grey
must go on a mass murdering rampage. It's just, that's the way the world works. I'm sorry, that's the dumbest
Their
thing I've
worldview,
ever heard.
yes.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
in this movie has all the moral fortitude of a damp fucking ham, and so Peter allows her to explore his mind, meeting his memory of Aunt May. May tells Jean that it is your most important responsibility to remember you are special. You are beautiful, and people love you for you, not because you are special. This reassurance of Jean's beauty and incredible nature convinces her not to end the life of.
Is that accurate as to what that conversation between the memory of Aunt May and Jean Grey is?
Well, the thing is Aunt May talking to Peter at that time.
Right.
But Jean has placed herself in Peter's position, so Aunt May is talking to her in Peter's memory.
But is it as cringe as he just made it sound? Is it actually, you're special and people love you, but not because you're special?
Yes. Because you're you. Now, she's talking to Peter because he is a hero.
We've gone a long ways from great power. With great power comes great responsibility. I'm just saying. We've come real downhill from there.
Yeah. No responsibility, no accountability, no understanding, no damage control.
This is the thing, is if this is a talk to Peter, Aunt May talking to Peter, it's understandable. Because Peter, at this point, is being a hero. And Aunt May, and he's discouraged, and Aunt May is encouraging him because she sees what everybody else sees in Spider-Man, which is he's Peter. He's being a hero, and that's what everybody sees in him. So her saying that you're special because you're you. It's not because of these powers. It's because you're you. You have this great. You're shouldering this great responsibility, and that's just who you are. That makes sense. Take it out of context.
The greatness of Superman is his moral fortitude. He is right and righteous. Yeah, he has a bunch of powers, but it is the Clark. Yeah, that is great. So sure, I think that's fair to say to Peter Parker, to Spider-Man.
Yep. Absolutely, but take it out of context and have Jean Grey
city hostage
in that place. It becomes absolutely vapid.
Is this as bad as WandaVision?
Absolutely.
This was done better by Deadpool, which is a crazy statement to make. But think of all the times that Colossus was one-on-one with Deadpool and told him, like, you can be better. You can do better.
Yep.
If you can't be a hero, at least be a good person. And that was to fucking Deadpool. The merc with a mouth. And they did it better than this movie could ever hope to.
Yep,
They
I
fucking
agree.
cooked.
The cruel bastard that tortured her sister to death, despite the hundreds of civilian corpses it took for her to get to this moment. At the same time,
Oh, she lets the director who tortured her sister and killed her sister, essentially, she let him live.
Oh, we got
Because
a
she's a good person.
Ellie and the lesbian situation here. We got a nice Last of Us ending.
the Punisher and Spider-Man ensure Jean escapes all forms of justice for the countless innocent people she pointlessly and often enthusiastically tortured and killed, allowing her to live her life in peace. Spider-Man Brand New Day is a tangled web of flaming chimp shit. Frank
That's a web I don't want to be a part of, to be honest.
I want to say that I cannot remember this actor's name, but the first season of The Punisher that he did on, I want to say it was HBO, was excellent with him playing the role. And then the writers went really woke, and they started stuffing like Trump allegory, Nazi propaganda, and all kinds of other nonsense in there.
Hmm.
This dude is an excellent actor for the role as the Punisher. He is superb in the part, but the writers are entirely unqualified to handle him.
Hmm.
And they can't handle morally gray to begin with. They can't handle black and white to begin with either. But one, he shouldn't be in this movie. Maybe like referenced in a newspaper or something like that if you want to have like, your little Marvel Easter eggs tucked in. But he didn't have to be here for this.
Nope,
Punisher and Spider-Man don't necessarily go hand in hand.
I would agree.
Castle, the Punisher, begins the movie by shooting Spider-Man with a grenade launcher, something that can kill him, considering a bullet can. Frank also decides to drop several tons of metal on an innocent civilian 3 times, because he is, at this point, akin to a particularly cowardly, brain-vacuumed Mr. fucking Bean. Frank
Okay, fair and based, I guess, if given what we're working with.
Sorry, Mueller cracks me up.
I don't entirely know what he means by brain vacuum to Mr. Bean, but
Are you familiar with Mr. Bean at all?
yeah, yeah.
It means that he's a freaking moron.
He's fucking retarded.
Okay.
Yeah, because Peter takes MJ to Punisher for protection, and Punisher has his setup so that it kills intruders. Now he's watching via camera, and like how Spider-Man is like almost dying with MJ with these booby traps, and he's kind
Oh,
of
these
just
are
laughing it
traps.
off.
So these are like weird, dangerous Rube Goldberg machines he has set up to like drop stuff on people, drop metal
Yeah,
on people.
for intruders. Yeah.
That's weird.
decides that when battling the Hulk, he will use flashbangs, explosives, guns, and his patented as though he has no idea it would only make the fucking Hulk angrier. Frank then decides he'll go after Jean during this battle, someone who can mind control him at a 33-foot distance, leading, retardedly, to him getting mind controlled. Why?
You kind of just have to laugh at the absurdity.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know the exact distance that she could mind control someone.
Well, it's established in this movie.
Oh,
Her
and
limit
so,
is
Made
33
it.
feet.
but she can like jump from person to person. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
As long as they're within 33 feet of each other.
of each other. If
Yes.
someone's 33 feet away from her, and then
Yes.
another person's 33 feet further, so
Hmm.
66 feet away from her, could she jump to get to that second person?
Yes. Mind hop. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Get this game of leapfrog.
Yep.
Yeah, it's real
But
dumb, Punisher.
yep. Mr. fucking Bean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly guessing that Spider-Man does some pretty dumb stuff throughout as well, because
Yes.
yeah, of
He
course.
also
While
has a
mind
scope on that
controlled,
rifle.
Jean had
Just saying, he's got an 8 or a 16 times scope on that rifle. He doesn't have to be within 33 feet of her. I'm pretty sure the guy who is a freelance mercenary and murderer named the Punisher is pretty good with a rifle scope.
The scenario that he's put in and that he puts himself in is to go into an office building and where there's a lot of corners.
And didn't wasn't it showing that the Hulk was in there? He's like getting into close quarters combat with the Hulk.
Yes.
That seems like a real bad idea. Doesn't
Yes.
matter who you are, that's a bad idea.
Yes.
Again, he shouldn't be there, but
Yeah, a little weird that the
brutally
Hulk is there to
wound
begin
two
with. Yeah.
innocent security members trying to protect themselves from Jean, and Frank never acknowledges this. Instead, a joke is made at the end of the scene. By the end of the movie, Frank, with the knowledge that Jean is mind-controlling everyone in the city potentially to death and has previously killed countless innocent people, sees she and Spider-Man are locked in some form of mind battle, providing him the chance to shoot her, ending her reign of psychotic, mind-raping murder, only for Spider-Man to take the bullet, and the Punisher eventually cries and apologizes. He was absolutely right.
Yeah, he was. What?
Yeah.
What? Now again, I
Yeah.
haven't seen this, so this is I'm taking this is going based off of Mauler's description, right? Obviously, he has a way with words and paints things in a specific light.
Hmm.
So I'm
no,
taking it with a little bit of grain of salt. But if it is as he portrayed, then yeah, absolutely, the Punisher would have been right to shoot her and kill her, and it's incredibly, incredibly dumb for Peter to have tried to put himself in the way to take it.
Well, I would agree that it's within Peter's character to take the bullet.
Sure, yep, yep,
100%.
I'll agree with that.
It is
It
But
was
Punisher
not.
to apologize?
exactly
Yeah, no.
for that is character assassination for the Punisher to
Oh,
apologize for his
100%.
action.
I was the Punisher, but now I've learned to be the Forgiver.
God.
That does sound like something Marvel would put in. That
Oh
would be
yeah.
their grand reveal at the end, their big emotional moment, and everybody hugs.
And I throw up.
That's their "we got this girl" moment.
Spiritually spineless, soggy pillock, absolutely embarrassing and irreconcilable with the man who would have ripped Peter apart for standing in the way of ridding the world of a psychopathic, mass-murdering, mind-raping fiend. Peter Parker, despite
Agreed.
They keep showing this guy get hit by a car. Um, is that Is that the guy getting hit by a car that I heard about that Jean Grey mind
Yes.
controlled out in front of the car
She does it specifically to show like she can do anything and Peter can do nothing about it.
to show that she has no morals and is willing to murder because she's a terrible person?
Yep.
Imagine being the guy standing there waiting for a bus, and some psychic fuckwit is just like, yoink. He just pulls you in front of a fucking moving vehicle.
Yep. And you would not believe the cope online. There are actually people saying, well, since she was in his head, he must have deserved it when she made him step back and commit suicide.
I know I saw stuff online about the car. I'd never actually seen this scene of him being hit by the car before, but I saw some stuff on X of people saying like, "What did you want the actor to or the stuntman to actually be killed? Just because the stuntman wasn't actually killed doesn't mean that
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 was
he
me.
was
That was my post.
right." Or sorry, but they were essentially trying to say that that the
The cope
stuntman or that
was
the
that the stuntman wasn't hurt, so therefore the character that he was playing couldn't have actually been killed by
right, like
the
the
car.
car wasn't going fast enough to have actually killed him, and it's what the
You're
hell
right.
are you
You're right.
trying to say?
Alan Rickman was not thrown off a building, therefore Hans Gruber lived.
It's true, but
Despite having a
yeah.
full
Sorry, go
view,
ahead.
allows an innocent man to be hit by a car through mind control without pulling him back. Apparently, he's distracted. He's a vacant moron, despite the entire event he was focusing on being Jean showing how cruel she can be by getting this innocent man killed.
It's an
Motherfucker, you
old guy
struggling with
too. Like it's just some random ass old guy.
He's
He's out there
stepping
watching
backwards
Witness.
slowly into the street. What is Spider-Man doing? He has the
Maybe she
ability to jump in front of a bullet.
There's his
maybe she
spider
mind
sense there.
controlled him and turned off his spidey sense.
No, she specifically doesn't have the capability of mind controlling Peter. That's in the movie.
Why is she not able to mind control him?
Apparently because of his Spidey sense.
But what?
Let's just take that for true. Let's just say, sure, that's how it works because shenanigans. That doesn't mean Peter's spider sense would tell him that something terrible is about to happen, and not just to him, but to the people around him. He
Mm-hmm.
would have known that this is going to happen. You remember the scene in I want to say it was Spider-Man 2, the
The
in the
car
comic
coming into
through
the
the window
diner and he
behind him.
saves Mary Jane. Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Behind him, a car was coming. He couldn't have seen it. And
And it was
even if,
coming faster.
yeah. So he could have obviously solved this fucking trolley problem. Like, it's a non-issue.
It's a not like it's literally him raising his wrist to web the guy and pull. That's
Let me
all
guess.
he had to do.
Canon Spider-Man, right? Like, canon fucking Spider-Man. Let's assume that we're going comic canon for this. I know they play fast and loose with it, but he broke Bucky's what's the name of the mithril in
Oh, adamantium, or no, not adamantium, vibranium arm.
Vibranium.
vibranium. He broke Bucky's vibranium hand in Civil War. Like he just crunched it. That's how strong he is. In the comic books, Spider-Man is so strong that he punched the Incredible Hulk and knocked him back to Bruce Banner. I think he can stop a fucking car. Like he can
Even if
put
he
a hand
didn't
down and call it a day.
even if he didn't want to stop the car. Gleeman, you had said he all he needs to do is like shoot him with the webs and pull him back. I don't even think that's necessarily true. His webs can have quite a bit of like concussive force to them, kinetic force. He could just shoot the guy with the webs to knock him backwards to where
Yeah,
he's not in the line of the car.
Well, I was thinking like Peter in that scenario would be trying to save him while not causing him harm. So,
Right, but
like shooting him with a web and pulling where he could catch the guy. is like the safest course of action,
Sure. Yep.
and it's right
I'm just
there.
saying that even if he was even lazier than that, he has options. Would have been very simple for Spider-Man.
Absolutely. I mean, even webbing the car, like
Yep, webbing the car. I think it was Spider-Man 2 again, going back to that. Um, Spider-Man stopped a train
Yeah,
yes,
with his webs and his body.
with his body and his webs.
yep.
Yeah, he could stop a car. He could probably lift a car.
Oh,
And,
he
and
absolutely.
actually, he can because we see in Homecoming when Tony is recruiting him, he shows a video of him doing that very thing. He catches a car full on.
Well, there you go. I didn't remember that, but yeah.
This movie is a minefield of problems. Like,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You're always going to have some sort of
Reaction
problems
time.
when you have superheroed people, especially
yeah,
when you have beyond human natural capabilities and you have different writers working from one movie to the next. People are going to lose track of where their power levels are. Um, and even normal people, like humans, have fluctuating power levels based on the day. The amount that you can bench press is not going to be the same every day.
there's
But
some wiggle room to be had.
these are some wild fluctuations. There's wild differences in his reaction time, his choice of actions, essentially.
His
Oh yeah.
cognitive ability to solve problems.
Yep.
There's Spider-Man. Speaking of this idiot insect, Peter, when knowing Jean was just in his apartment threatening to reach MJ, decides to chase those she jumps through in mind control. He believes he can trap her within them if they are too far from another body to jump into, even though he knows she can exit them at will from having seen it happen twice already. An especially stupid move when he should be making a beeline to MJ or to his own apartment, since he knows he is immune to Jean's mind control and can easily neutralize her. When reaching MJ, he simply assumes she couldn't possibly have been mind controlled in time. He believes everything she says. Again, he's a vacant, spider-flavored watermelon fuck. Peter
Aaron based. No notes. 10 out of 10.
I just I don't know why, but Mauler's flavor of insults just it's
This
for me.
movie, this movie could have been corrected if Spider-Man just said enough is enough, went to his apartment and hit the bitch with a haymaker. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. He
take the
knew
black,
where she
roll credits.
was. He knew where
So
she physically was.
This this movie would have been objectively better if Spider-Man was going through the city for an hour and a half with the objective goal of beating a woman.
so just to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Quick summary, I guess. We got Jean Grey, who could have solved it all by using her actual mutant powers right from the beginning and not hurting anyone.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Punisher, who is being the dumbest he possibly could be in angering the Hulk and letting himself get mind controlled. Like
And he's less the
actively moving
Punisher,
within range to get mind controlled.
Mm-hmm.
much less a Punisher and more of an aggravator.
And then apologizing afterwards. So definitely that you're right. That is a character assassination of the Punisher to be apologizing for trying to kill a mass murdering psychopath. And then we got the main hero, the titular hero, Spider-Man, who could have solved it all by just going and stopping her rather than all this other shenanigans that's going on. Like it's like they couldn't come up with a reason for plot to exist. I don't know if you guys ever watch Ryan George. If you're familiar with Ryan George on
No, I don't
YouTube,
think I am.
Mm-mm. No.
he's very funny. He does the oh, I can't remember the name of the series right now. I'm bad at coming up with these sorts of things off the top of my head. Anyways,
Leave it in the
the
comments.
pitch meeting series.
Oh, pitch meeting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking, is he talking about pitch meetings?
Yeah. Pitch meeting. The pitch meeting series. Ryan George is the one that does that.
Okay. Yeah.
He has his own channel too. That's also very funny. But I
Oh,
think
okay.
they're on. I think the pitch meetings are on Screen Rant or something. It's the only thing on
Yes.
Screen Rant I actually watch. Um,
Fair
well,
enough.
the rest of their content is just not very fun. Anyways, they he always makes fun of movies like, oh, but then if they did that, we need them to do that so the rest of the movie will happen. Like,
Yes.
oh, okay, we're just gonna have them do completely illogical, stupid things, out of character, ruin characters, dissolve the trust that the audience has in the franchise, so that the movie can happen.
Hmm.
Excellent plan, excellent plan, Sony.
I'm going to need you to get way off my back about
Okay, let me get off of that thing.
that.
Super easy, barely an
Eventually
inconvenience.
Absolutely.
meets Jean directly and fails to web the shit out of her, at least her feet even, like he did to people earlier in the movie, leading to the Hulk sneaking up on Spider-Man.
What?
I repeat, the Hulk sneaks up on Spider-Man, as though his footsteps aren't heavier than an Ozempic-deprived Boogie 2988.
I'm in tremendous pain. I'm in tremendous pain. Help me, help me, help me.
Peter.
Help me, I want to die. It's a great clip.
Boogie 2988 taking strays here, man. Oh my god.
Deserved. We need to do EFAP's 2988 series. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking amazing.
Oh,
Down
I have.
was
Oh, I
a-
have.
I haven't. I watched Boogie 2988 back in the day, and I actually liked
Me as
him
well.
for a while, but man, has he has really revealed his true self.
His
Lying
downfall
about
was
cancer.
spectacular.
Yep.
He has liar tattooed on his face, which he then.
Has he
think
removed that yet?
I don't think he got a laser removal. He actually took some kind of cleaning chemical and rubbed out the tattoo, so now the ink is smeared across his face under his beard. He rubbed out a tattoo, like an actual tattoo from a tattoo gun.
Oh my gosh.
See, I thought you were gonna say he didn't get it laser removed, but he got it like covered up with a new tattoo. Like,
No, that
good
would have
tattoo
been.
artists can do that.
And then he
No.
made his own Bitcoin, which he sold to people and then pulled the rug out from under them. And then
Remember that.
lost, yep. And then he invested that in a different shill coin and then lost it all.
I remember seeing him on Caleb Hammer, where he was going over Boogie's finances, and like Boogie has the potential to still be doing pretty well financially if he actually like created content and put it out. Like he still has the subscribers and the people that would would watch that he would do okay, but he just won't do it. He's like
Boogie went on financial audit?
Yeah, Boogie went on financial audit.
I have not seen that.
Oh, have you not? Oh,
I haven't either.
It's a good
now
one.
We know what
It's
our
a good
next
one.
video is going to be.
Oh, we could do that next week. That'd be great. Oh, I'd love. That'd be a great segue to do a financial audit. I actually think that'd be a lot of fun.
The only
That would
person
be fun.
I feel bad for in the entire Boogie saga is Boogie's very clearly mentally abused girlfriend, who is with him because she has such horrible self-esteem issues that she thinks he's the best she can get.
The like super young one.
Yeah.
Yes.
The child.
I've known a ton of people like that. I ain't gonna say child. She is an adult.
I mean, to be fair, Boogie's ex-wife probably went through it as well.
Yeah, that I'm not as familiar with. But
I don't know either. I just can't imagine after seeing who Boogie turned out to actually be after his kind of good guy facade faded.
Well, just that Rhino, just that one clip of him where they're talking about his girlfriend and how she was 3 when he started his YouTube career.
Yes.
And he says, well, good thing I didn't date her then.
Honestly, that is an answer I would give if I was like 40 and dating a 20-year-old. But Like that is a relatable statement because I have that same kind of sarcasm. But for me, it would actually be sarcasm. He probably meant that seriously.
Well, he did mean it seriously.
But having dated people who've came out of like abusive relationships and people who have been like very abused, everything about her says I left one abusive relationship and fell into this, and now I feel stuck.
Yeah, I don't have the actual knowledge on that to comment. Um,
Just
I
a
hope
theory,
she's
to
doing
be clear.
okay.
I
I mean,
hope so
honestly,
too.
I hope Boogie turns it around and does okay as
I
well.
do too, but I mean, he's lolcowed himself into a corner.
He really has. He's very much lulk out himself.
Oh yeah.
Dude even got the back gastric bypass
Yep.
surgery and
Yep.
then didn't follow through with
Yeah.
the weight loss and stuff.
Yep. I think he's back to like 350 or more now.
If you want to see me
That's
gain
more than
350
me.
pounds, just send me food. I will get bigger than Boogie. I will put Boogie to shame.
I've considered opening up a PO box to let people send me stuff because there's one person that I've interacted with that really wants to send me some of their homemade barbecue sauce. And I'm like, I would love to try people's barbecue
Absolutely.
sauce, but I definitely don't want to be giving out my private address to strangers on the internet.
Right. Right.
Send it to me. I'll check it for poison.
I'll get half a bottle.
Yeah. I did start one of those, what do they call it? The throne things. And the
Oh
only
yeah.
thing I have on it is fucking energy drinks.
Oh,
Like,
that is based. That is so cool. I
I've got
love that.
Moss, and then I have like 5 flavors of Monster. Don't
Gotcha.
donate. Don't buy me that
Absolutely.
unless you really want to see me just have a heart attack. In that case, get me all of it. I
Guys,
will drink it all.
go buy Rhino some energy drinks on Throne.
And if you do, I'll make this promise right now. Anyone who does, I will send them pictures of me drinking it in person. You will know that your money is well spent.
You guys, he's gonna face reveal. That's what I heard. Face reveal for energy drink. That is the cheapest face reveal I think I've ever heard.
That is very Rhino.
I've always been a cheap date.
All right. Let's continue with this Mauler video.
Then decides it's intelligent to have the Punisher deal with Jean, despite the fact that he doesn't want Frank to kill her, as is the Punisher's MO.
Boom Chicago.
See,
Yeah, I'm not sure what else the Punisher's gonna do.
Like that's the thing. It's like Peter doesn't even escape the idiocy.
That's what I'm saying. Every action seems to be just there as a means to say it's like they strung together a bunch of cool action scenes that they had planned, and they're like, well, let's just find a way to make all of these fit in the movie.
It's Aquaman, but worse. At least with
On
Aquaman,
top
you got
of
like a
that,
beer and
Peter
pizza movie, you know? You could kick one back and just watch explosions and dudes get punched. This one, you don't even want to see them because it's all just CGI bullshit smeared all over everything and people who probably shouldn't be there.
You can't root for anyone.
No, I see no heroes in this movie. This is not Homecoming.
ones of the 33-foot distance he must keep from Jean, as though they aren't in an office building replete with corners at every square meter, meaning she could easily mind control Frank and cause mayhem, only for Frank to then be mind controlled, causing mayhem. Everyone is fucking brain dead in this lobotomized toilet soup. Peter is told by the director of the DODC that he remembered being mind controlled. Peter then later realizes through MJ saying she doesn't remember anything before waking up on the street that the director must have been lying, even though Peter should already know that because the guy on the roof said the same shit. In fact, so did Scorpion, so did Bruce, so did Frank. Peter, what are you doing? You fucking spider retard. It also makes
I'm gay.
That Ian clip. Oh god. Oh, talk about previous YouTube giants that have fallen. My God, that's another sad tale.
Who was that again?
That was iDubbbz.
iDubbbz. Yes, thank you. Who
Ian,
is now a gay dragon intern.
husband of Anissa. Yeah, yeah, a dragon VTuber. I can't complain too much about him being a VTuber because I'm a VTuber myself.
No, but you're a
Uh,
better VTuber. You get way more views.
it's all cringe. We're all cringe here on the internet. It's fine, but
No, you're
his
not that cringe. You
at
stream to
least
more
I'm
people.
not like being successful, making people laugh, being genuinely funny for years, and then having like woke remorse about it and being like, I'm sorry that I was funny and I was
And
racist,
Anissa
and it's
too.
like my fault that Trump is elected or whatever the hell he said.
He's married to Anissa too, so it's also like
Yep,
cucks remorse.
dude. I I don't know how much you guys follow that, but like Anissa thirsts after Hassan so bad.
Yes,
And I feel so bad. Like I feel bad for
I
Ian,
don't.
but at the
I
same
don't.
time, I'm like, you chose this, dude. This is the consequences of
And
your own actions. It's
Well, he
sad
still
to.
chooses it.
He still chooses
That's
it. He's actively
yeah.
choosing it. Yeah.
I'll say this
And
right now. I will pay for him to have his testosterone and estrogen levels checked. I bet you his estrogen is through the fucking roof. Like, we're not talking low T, we're talking high E. My man is spiking. He's had way too much
Good
soy
grief.
in his lifetime.
Makes no sense because MJ clearly realized she was falling as Peter grabbed her, meaning she absolutely did know what was happening before waking up on the street. But on top of that, it doesn't make the DODC director a liar to say that he knows she mind controlled him because all the victims know they have lost time and he knows what her powers are. Peter Parker casually invented an inhibitor that applies to the most powerful mutants, Spider-Man himself, and the fucking Hulk, meaning he just created a universal muzzle to superpowers and provided the design to the Department of Damage Control.
oh,
Yes.
good
However,
lord,
could this work out?
stop trusting the government.
And if we're gonna
Like,
continue this role of naming movies that handled this better, I think it was X2, where they had the cure for mutants.
X3.
X3. And
Yep.
also, that scene with Archangel was fucking amazing of him busting out the window, like, no, fuck you, I ain't doing it. Changing
Yes.
his mind.
Absolutely. The only scene that we got with Angel, but it was awesome.
Yeah. Nice that they chose to include him, you know what I mean?
Yep.
If it was a little
I kind of
snippet.
wish that he was part of the X-Men, but I mean, he did get a brief glimpse. Like, who did he save at the end?
I don't remember. He was really more of an Easter egg than anything because he wasn't totally in it.
Yeah, like he only had that scene. Like he had this scene where he took off his wings, and then it time skipped, and then you show him with his wings, and he
Yeah, because
busts
wasn't he
out.
like he was like on the ground, he kept saying they keep growing back or something like that? Like he was all like distraught and traumatized.
Yeah, as a kid, he kept like sawing off his wings, and then his dad came in, and he's like in tears because like he didn't want to be a mutant. And then you have him in the trench coat, and they're about to give him the cure, and then he like busts out,
Yeah,
and
he realized what he's doing and like the one thing that made him not unique like in that way, but like something that's like integral that he's gone that long with and he's about to lose it and he just
mhm.
I can't do it now. He kind of
And
seen what he had and then
he
used
flies
what he
away.
had. It's
Yeah, and so I think
almost like it had good writing or
he's
something.
I think he
I wouldn't say
saves.
X3 had good writing.
You know what?
It might
Okay,
be better than some of this, but X3
Comparably,
was. I remember being incredibly disappointed at
uh,
X3.
okay. So as far as the plot goes, you're right. as far as character writing goes, I think that they did an excellent job with quite a few of the characters. Maybe not on point for everything, but it doesn't have to be all or nothing when it comes to writing. You can have
Also,
very good parts that are written very well, and then very bad parts.
I mean, it
amazingly,
was better than whatever some of this mess is, but
yeah, we always look back like, man, we don't know how good we had it. It's like Star Wars after the Ray series. We look back
like
at that prequel trilogy like, oh, Jar Jar, we
well,
miss you.
go back to the scene where it's Jean, um, Xavier, and Magneto in the house. That
Hmm.
scene is amazing as far as their characters go. Granted, Jean isn't, and the Phoenix isn't really the Phoenix like it is in the comics, but for what it is in the movie, if you separated it out, is an amazing scene
It also
between this captor and this force, this persona that's been locked away, and she's
Mhm.
facing her captor, but he's good and he wants to do the good thing. And he's trying to get back to Jean, but she is resentful of what he did to her. And then you have Magneto, who instigated all of this, and he's watching the ramifications of his actions as he watches his friend die. It's amazing.
and two powerhouse actors. Um, now that I go to say them, bald guy and the guy that played Magneto,
Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. Thank you. I those names they should come right out, but I got stuck there. Like that is two absolute titans of acting, very classically trained, staring each other down, giving their best performances, and it shows. Like it elevates the movie so much. All of the actors did really. They all did excellent jobs, even if the writing didn't support them entirely. They supported the writing with what they were doing.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
you don't get that in stuff like this. Like Marvel, sometimes yes, like we look back at Civil War and Civil War had a lot of great acting in it, but for the most part, the acting doesn't support the narrative. The acting should pick up the weak parts and then it should just carry on from there back to the strong things. Especially with all these big names that they have in here, but they're just not doing it.
I agree.
i.e., the government. What an absolute, immoral, idiotic, boot-licking fucking lamp. Illustrated by his almost complete lack of care as that innocent man is splattered, by the way. Pete just moves the fuck on. Not a care in the world. The guy sees the most blatant mind control, with confirmation afterward, and he doesn't tell the police explicitly what he saw, despite several people now likely heading to jail as criminals. Peter's AI invades every citizen's privacy in order to scan faces and search through private information, completely
oh, is
violating
that
some
really
rather basic
true?
Yes. Yes.
So maybe the real lesson is that Spider-Man is a villain. Maybe J. Jonah Jameson was right all along.
Uh,
Well,
nobody escapes this movie. Nobody.
The thing with J. Jonah
Spider-Man.
Jameson, if you really want to go down that pathway, is J. Jonah Jameson was never actually wrong. He just had a different point of view. If you look into the comics as a whole, J. Jonah Jameson was all about order, structure. He was I want to say, a Vietnam veteran. He was very pro government and very, we need better organizations to help support it. If government did what it was supposed to, we wouldn't need a Spider Man. It
I mean,
was,
that's
why
true.
does a mass vigilante get to do these things that a normal citizen can't do? Just because you have these powers doesn't mean you're special. He just had a different worldview than Spider-Man did, and they came to heads with it quite a few times in the comics. And I believe one of the later series in the comics, there was actually a pretty good scene where J. Jonah Jameson and Spider-Man were talking in an interview, and Peter Parker revealed himself, and J. Jonah Jameson was just like, "Why weren't you there to save this person and this person and this person?" And he's like, "Dude, I can't be everywhere at once. I'm just one person."
Mhm.
Laws and ethics. Peter is simply sitting on revolutionary, world-changing technology that could save countless lives and uses it to spy on people, to take powers from heroes, and to provide this service and capacity to the worst subcategory of the government in the universe. Anyone remember the
IRS.
Dark Knight?
This is wrong.
Only you can use it.
Spying on 30 million people isn't part of my job description.
Anyone remember Project Insight?
For once, we're way ahead of the curve.
By holding a gun to everyone on Earth and calling it protection. This isn't freedom. This is fear.
Yes.
Better time.
That was right.
Such a better time.
It's like it's like we've had this writing before and they got it right. How did you get it so wrong? And it's not even in the far past. This is in the MCU.
The beautiful thing about it is you had two people on the screen, like Nick Fury and Captain America, Steve, who had wildly different worldviews, and they were both correct in the scenario. They both had good reasons for doing what they did and thinking the way they did, but they're portrayed very differently. Where Captain America is all about civil liberties, Nick Fury was far more utilitarian and he's all about the greater good. And
they
you
both
can
had
write that.
had justifications that were internally logically consistent with their
Yeah,
character,
the whole
unlike
time.
this Spider-Man movie where people are just doing things apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things happened and they reacted in ways that were appropriate and reasonable for them. I mean, think about from Nick Fury's perspective. You have supervillains and anti-heroes and all these dudes with superpowers popping up out of the woodwork. It would make sense that a spy would want a big information network to gather information on everything that he possibly can. Whereas Captain America, being a World War II vet who is all about civil liberties, truth, justice, and the American way, would see something like that as a huge infringement on civil liberties. I personally
Oh.
would go the Captain America route here, but I can see why someone would come to Nick Fury's conclusion. And they're both justified in what they do and understandable in how they got there. And we just don't get that in writing in these days.
Well, and you could say that Nick Fury is justified, but he's also wrong.
I don't know if he's necessarily wrong for it, given the situations that they keep finding themselves in.
Well, it's wrong to profile and I'm saying this very specifically. So please don't interrupt Rhino.
I wasn't trying to.
God, here we go.
I know that I'm going to try to get this thought out, and Rhino's going to try to interject before I get finished
Yeah,
my
Gleeman.
thought.
Is there wiggle room?
So I think it's wrong to profile someone before they've actually done anything, because that was what Project Insight was doing. It was looking into their complete internet history and making a profile of them and saying, here's the potential of what they are going to do, and we are going to stop them before they're going to do it.
Yeah, you're 100% right. But, and I'll just caveat with a but, I do not agree with the sentiment. But I can understand how they came to the conclusion it's a big idea, because it's a very American worldview that is a bad thing, that you have these civil liberties and one of them is the right to privacy, either a certain amount of privacy online, the right to be forgotten, things like that. But at the end of the day, if you were to look at it from somewhere else. I mean, would these same rights be extended in Russia or anywhere else where being utilitarian is far more important? Given the
See, I
circumstances
can
at
look
the
at
time,
that though. I can look at that and say, yes, I can see where someone comes up with this idea. I can see where they're justified in the idea, all of that stuff. But I can also say, yeah, that's wrong.
he's definitely morally wrong here. Like, I'm using morally kind of loosely here because I don't think he did anything like you're a bad person for doing this, because it's understandable why he feels that that is an absolute necessity, because tomorrow some person with the power to explode could just show up and wipe out a city block. So it's perfectly understandable that a spy whose job is to gather information would get a hold of technology like to this extent and immediately take it to its maximum. It's perfectly understandable why he did what he did.
I'm not saying it's not perfectly understandable. I'm saying that it's wrong.
Yes. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I just think that it's justified, if that makes sense. Like his justification is sound for it.
I would agree that he's justified in how he came to the conclusion. He's not justified in putting it forward because it's still wrong.
Man, just it's it's kind of all over. I mean, it's just a good fucking scene. It's a
It
good
is.
It
It
is.
very much is.
It's
Like
well
it is.
written characters with some semblance of consistency.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
the fact that these two characters can have such, again, moral's not the right word, but like conflicting worldviews on how these things should be handled, because Captain America is very much good old boy, the American way. This isn't how it's supposed to be done.
Hmm.
Whereas Nick Fury he's not by the book by any means. Like his whole job is to go against the book and use very unique and underhanded tactics to get advantages on the enemies. So
Hmm.
even in his job description, this is right there in his wheelhouse, and he's doing it for what he would probably argue is the greater good.
But guys,
His
during this scene between them, um, there aren't any explosions or anyone getting hit by cars. Aren't all isn't the audience just going to look away and start looking at their phones because there's not something big and flashy on the screen? Like people won't even listen to the dialogue.
Yeah, just in the theater
uh,
for air conditioning at that point.
good grief.
Captain America would be disgusted with this scum fuck. Hell, Peter Parker would be disgusted with whoever this freak is, considering he gave up that same power in Far From Home the moment it was stumbling on private information.
No, don't look at it. Don't look at it. That's wrong.
This penniless, rock-bottom, lonely Spider-Man is all in name only. He
And that's true.
Yeah, agreed. See, I would not.
is as
I'd take that power to the absolute maximum. I'd be like, I knew Teddy was in the bore.
And you would know that you're a bad person while you do it.
I already know that.
You would be. I think you know that it's wrong, and you just do it anyway.
Great man
Well,
once said, "I'm a really bad person," you know.
well, what I was agreeing to is like this Peter Parker Spider-Man
Yeah,
is
they're
only
different
in name
people.
only.
Yeah. I guess he has the
corporate as
powers.
they come,
Well,
living
some
in a
of them.
huge New York loft, excited to approach each day, collaborating with the police and federal agencies via futuristic tech while FaceTiming the Avengers whenever he wants. Rainy Peter Parker was fired from delivering pizzas while selling his photos at diminishing returns, and he was still struggling to make his rent. He was also authentically lonely. He was struggling to grow his social connections. He had barely any technology. Regardless of all
He also had the biggest fumble in cinema history. He had that cute foreign girl that was into him, and he
Yeah.
dropped her for Mary Jane's hoe ass. Absolutely not. Greatest fumble in cinema history.
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
I do feel bad for that girl. She was so nice.
And it was
Like,
authentic too. Like Mary Jane could have gave a fuck less about him. She was dating some fucking astronaut and was all like, "Woe is me. I'm so sad he's rich." Ah, fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna go hang out with the poor chick.
To be fair, Peter wouldn't have got with either of them because he was rejecting Mary Jane. Like Mary Jane was into him and was willing to date him, but Peter was saying no. Peter's the one at the end of the first movie said that like I'll always be your friend and turned her down because he was trying to protect her. So it would have gone the same way with that foreign girl where he would have had to have eventually turned her down because he's trying to protect her by keeping people at arm's length because anyone that gets close to him gets hurt and is a target against him.
I think there's an argument to be made that that girl whose name I can't remember or pronounce would have been far more understanding and they would have had a much more close and intimate relationship to the point where she would have been fully supportive of him doing his Spider-Manning.
I think so too.
Well,
honestly.
Didn't Mary Jane get to that point?
Yeah, but I don't think it was in the first couple movies. I think it was in the third movie she found out. Or
Well,
second or
no,
third. Something like that.
Right. Well, it's not.
she finds out in Spider-Man 2, I'm fairly certain.
It's not her fault that Peter kept it from her. Mary Jane was, like I said, at the end of Spider-Man 1, Mary Jane was interested in Peter and put herself out there, and Peter turned her down. That's,
That is true.
you know, that's on him that he didn't
But
didn't
then she
trust
got
her at that point.
and then he gets jealous because she got with an astronaut.
And then the
A
Green
very
Goblin.
handsome astronaut.
The Hobgoblin.
The Hobgoblin. Thank you.
Yeah.
That Peter is a cranially carbonated immoral scumfuck to spare Jean Grey from any and all justice despite being the most wretched oxygen-thieving murder-womble this side of the broken-ass Feigeverse.
Can I ask a spoiler? You might know. God, what is that sentence? And what am I looking at on screen? Jeez, I know some people like muscle mommies, but that's not what it's not
No.
what I think of.
We need to send that to Kuro and get his verdict.
Sorry, I just got like flashbanged. I forgot what I was going to ask.
This
I
is
was
from
gonna
Secret Invasion, Disney Plus
I'll
show.
watch it. It's not worth it.
gotcha.
It's awful.
This
It
is
might be worse than this.
this is Gaia. She is a Skrull. She also has the capability of all of the Avengers.
Sure, why not? Why not just have every power? Sounds good.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, the question I was going to ask. He says that Jean Grey ends up getting out without any consequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does he at least apply one of those dampening devices that he's made
No.
to her
No.
to take away her
No.
powers and
No.
then put her ass in prison?
No.
Why?
Because then she can't be Dark Phoenix in the sequel.
You think that the Phoenix Force is going to
no fucking idea
have
what
a
they're
trouble
gonna do. They
finding
don't
her
do it.
in prison? I think that it could be figured out.
I don't know what they're gonna do. They don't know what they're gonna do. They're making it up as they go along.
That's the problem. Good Lord. That's like the newest Star Wars trilogy where they made the first one and didn't have a plan for the second and third. It's like how do you make a trilogy of movies and not have at least a outline of what's going to happen in each movie?
I mean, to be fair, that was the original trilogy. That happened with the original trilogy. He just lucked out.
Okay, fair. I don't
George,
think he knew. I don't think he knew he was making a trilogy though at first,
No,
right?
he did
Because he
not.
made he made a New
He
Hope,
absolutely did not.
and
He
then
made
it
A New
was
Hope, and then it did so well. He was like, "Okay, I'll make another one."
we can expand on this a little.
right. But
Yep.
Disney planned a three-part trilogy. They budgeted for and knew they were going to be making a three movies, and
Hmm.
didn't have a plan, and it all fell apart terribly.
See, I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's where they went wrong. Is see they financed it. They didn't plan it. It was the lack of planning that was really their problem.
I swear,
Oh, Steve,
the
but you
quality
don't
of these movies,
understand.
this has got to be some sort of like money laundering scheme.
Didn't you hear Kathleen Kennedy said this like when they announced the
Put a
trilogy?
chick in it and make it gay.
Well, no, she said that they didn't have any like previous material. There were no books, no comics, nothing in the canon to go off of. They were going from scratch.
Disney, I'm
Oh,
available for an executive position. I've read a book. I am far more
that
qualified than Kathleen Kennedy.
overqualified. Kathleen Kennedy specifically hired someone onto the writers team because they had no knowledge of Star Wars. Specifically brought them on saying that we need fresh ideas and fresh voices, people that aren't familiar with the material.
Amazon,
That's
put me in charge of Stargate. I haven't seen it. You're the pitch you're looking for.
Please no, no.
the Rhino
Gleeman,
Rocks cut of Stargate.
Gleeman,
God.
tell me this, and I want you to be objectively honest. Do you think that if I was put in charge of Stargate right now, if Amazon came to me and dropped me a contract, that it would be better or worse than whatever they were going to do with their DEI hires and stuff?
Okay, so what I would say is what they were going to do before it
Yeah,
was stopped
let's
was the
say
right thing.
what they were intending to do when they decided that the fans weren't the people.
Okay, if you're going with that route, then yes, whatever you do or are in charge of would have been better.
I would at least watch the first few episodes and got a ballpark for what it's supposed to be like. Like, okay, this is what we're going for here. But a
Uh,
made for TV movie would have been perfect. Like in between two episodes, you know what I mean? You just kind of squeeze it in there. Like, oh, this is what was happening with this team over here while they were doing this. You know, you kind of skirt around an episode,
I
expand it a little.
Personally, I just love listening to Peter insist Jean isn't a killer. After she had a ninja Sudoku himself, she blew up several buildings, she froze tens of thousands of people, and she walked an innocent old man in front of a car.
You're not a murderer.
She just said she killed 3 people.
I know, but I'm saying deep down.
This movie
That's a great line. I have no idea what that's from, but I kind of want to see it. That's the writing I'm looking for.
uh,
That's good
even
humor.
shits all over Yelena, that pitiful photocopy of better times. She discovers through Spider-Man that innocent people are being taken by an adjacent yet interwoven Justice Department for observation, experimentation, and other human rights violations related to mind control, and doesn't give a single shit despite that being her core trauma from the Red Room. Something that defines
it's just like
That movie should have printed fucking money, and they couldn't do a single thing with it. That was probably my biggest disappointment in Marvel so far. 'Cause I was actually excited for that movie.
Avengers 2012 is a better Black Widow movie than Black Widow.
Civil War was.
Yep.
I
Iron
Winter
Man
remember that
Soldier.
movie.
I
Iron
remember that
Man
I
movie
went to
with the
see
producer.
Black Widow with my wife. I remember that we had a good time. That it was an enjoyable experience. Um, was that because I was going to the movies with my wife? Probably.
That's exactly why.
It's probably a big part of it. I also remember feeling pretty disappointed that they didn't take the spy and put her into a spy movie. Like
Hmm.
they could have
Hmm.
done something different than just another big explosion maxing movie, but uh, whatever.
They
The
also
Red
ruined
Room.
Taskmaster, which is my
Yeah.
personal favorite Marvel
And
villain.
the
So I
Red
was
Room
totally offended.
was so well hidden for 30 years. Big structure in the sky.
Yep. Not like a bakery buried underneath, like a facility buried under a bakery in Prague. Like someplace you would never expect.
It's literally a floating fortress.
Like, imagine if it
To
was
be
hidden in
fair,
plain sight.
everyone's looking down at their phones these days. Nobody would notice by looking up. Okay,
True. Have you guys seen Don't Look Up? It's a great movie.
Oh,
no,
I
I'm not
hate that
familiar
movie
with
so
that.
much. I hate that movie so
I love
much.
it to death. It's such a good shit post.
The thing
Never heard of it.
the thing is that they truly clown on themselves because it's supposed to be about MAGA, and how MAGA is convincing everyone that like reality isn't reality, but it's like vice versa.
Yeah. But that's what makes it so good is you watch it and you could just instantly apply it to the other side. It's like the best worst political commentary.
Oy.
Find the majority of her life, and she passes it off with no less enthusiasm than a constipated gorilla preparing his tax return. Two sisters are attempting to reach each other despite a greater evil institution keeping them apart involving mind control, and she is simply disinterested. Actually hilarious that they assassinate such a forced and worthless character with just a minute of screen time. The film
And also another unnecessary camo.
That's what I was just gonna
Yep.
say. Why is she even in it then? I don't get it.
Up to this
Because
point,
she's the leader of the new Avengers, and they're
ugh,
preparing for Doomsday.
Is she really?
Yes.
I wasn't
I
aware that they had used her again after Black Widow, but I haven't seen anything Marvel really because it's all awful.
The Thunderbolts movie.
Well, I definitely haven't seen that. I heard that was dog shit.
It was later revealed, like, there's an asterisk after Thunderbolts, and they revealed, like, a week into its release that the asterisk was, it also goes by New Avengers.
Ugh.
Yeah. Because,
Marvel ended at Phase 3.
yes. Yes, it did.
Marvel caught cancer after phase one and just slowly decayed. Like phase one, cinema. Absolute cinema. Phase two, a steady decline. Phase three, it was dead. It didn't even
Well,
make it over into phase
okay,
three.
so Phase 3 has some of the best, though. Civil War and Infinity War.
Is that phase three though?
That is
Yes.
Phase 3. Yep.
Okay,
That's like the
maybe,
end of Phase 3.
okay, so maybe it's phase four I'm thinking of where it's falling off.
Oh,
The early stuff
absolutely.
does blur together to me
And
for a
now
little
I
bit.
will say the cancer was showing because of Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel are also Phase 3, and I cannot consider them as part of the Infinity Saga.
Well,
Um,
Captain Marvel was slipped in
Yeah.
right before Infinity War, or right before not even Infinity
in
War,
game,
Endgame, right
in
before
game, yeah.
Endgame. Force kind of making it required reading for people before Endgame, and then she played almost no role in Endgame, so they could have
Yep.
just left her out entirely. And her movie, her introduction movie, was terrible, and she's also a villain. Um,
Yep.
Very much so.
Yep. Well, it's funny that both of the films that I just stated, Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp both happened between Infinity War and Endgame. Like they literally just slipped those two in.
That "Let's Go Girl" scene
Is
will forever be the worst thing I have seen in movie history. I've seen bad movies with redeeming qualities. That was the bones of what used to be a good series, and you could just see the rot from the inside.
It was
I'm
such a useless scene. Like
yeah,
just
it was
barring the stupidity of the feminist moment,
Yeah.
it was such a useless scene because you have Captain Marvel of, of all the characters, and she's like, "I'll take that," and he's like, "That's a lot of people. How are you going to get through?" And she has help, and then all these other, it's like it's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she could have just
She
walked through them.
yes, exactly. Literally blaze all through them.
It would have
wasn't
With
been
Pepper
better.
purpose there.
Potts one of them? Was Pepper Potts in armor there with them?
Yes.
Yes.
Does
Which
Pepper Potts even
isn't,
know how to use the Iron Man armor, or is that
yes, she
actually
does.
just
That,
Jarvis
that that
controlling
is
it?
actually a thing that is a thing. So that is actually like a canon thing because Tony
I
did have an
know
Iron Man suit for her.
I know in the comics, sure. But was that ever established in any of the
I
movies?
think
Or is
Iron
she
Man
just like
2 it did. 2 or 3, it showed her as having her own suit as like an emergency
Well, no,
negotiation.
it wasn't in Iron Man 3, it wasn't that it was her own suit. He just put the suit on her to protect her.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah.
which
That was
makes me
one
think
they
that it was kind of against her will, probably more like AI driven than actually her controlling the suit.
well,
I mean,
I'm fairly
I don't
certain
think
that
that's the biggest
it
sin
was
that movie has.
I
No,
think
it's not, but it just seems really silly to ham-fist that in the already ham-fisted scene to be like, "Oh wait, we have another female character. Well, she's not a superhero, but let's just turn her into a superhero real quick to force her into the scene also." It's the
yeah.
cringiest.
I mean, it would have
Well,
been
they had to
fine.
have all the cameos in that scene.
Yeah, it would have been fine if they had like a big group fight scene and the female characters had their own cutaways for, kind of what's happening with
Right.
everyone. Like, but they called it out way too loudly, and it was just cringe where it could have been each of them being badass individually in their own cutaway.
It was
Well, and
legitimately the boys girls get it done thing.
Yeah, it
Like,
was awful.
yeah.
yeah,
Well, see, and Infinity War did it so much better with like the women having their fight on the battlefield, and it just so happened that all of them were in that spot together
Yeah.
where they could shine. It was very natural.
It wasn't a DEI scene.
Exactly. It wasn't a woman power moment. It was, okay, these women are on the battlefield and they're getting it done. Okay, moving
I'm
on.
curious. I have a question for you too. If we had the ability to just erase our memories of anything Phase 4 and onwards, and we went or we went back in time to Phase 3, right, the end of Phase 3,
Mhm.
would you be interested in seeing the next couple of phases culminate in a video or in a movie that's um, similar to Infinity War, but instead of it being the heroes that have had assembled, it's actually a team up of a bunch of villains.
You know, it can't be worse than what they did. Like, although I keep saying that and they keep lowering the bar. Because that does happen in comic books quite often where heroes get defeated and the threat is like so large or existential that the villains come in
Well,
support of them.
I think what Teddy is kind of alluding to is that's what we're getting in Doomsday. Is
Oh,
Oh,
they're
is
all
it? No,
villains.
I was not alluding to that actually. I did not
Oh,
know that that's what was happening in
I
Doomsday.
did not either.
well, I was going off of the fact that like almost every single hero that we've gotten from Phase 4 and 5 have essentially been villains
Yeah.
in their own right. So it's a team up of villains in
Oh,
Doomsday.
gotcha. Oh, gotcha. No, I was thinking
You know they love to subvert our expectations.
like I would have liked to have seen a two movie arc, kind of like Infinity War Endgame, where in Infinity the a villain version of Infinity War with all of the heroes or villains had to come together to fight against one of the strongest heroes and killed Miss Marvel. They
That would have
succeeded
been
against Miss Marvel. I would have, and then
I would have
a
just liked for Miss
second
Marvel to be a
movie
better
for them.
movie. Like,
A
because
better
Miss Marvel,
character, a better actress, a better everything.
like, she had potential to be good, and it was just squandered. I don't know if it was the role, the people handling her.
They all had potential to be good. I remember hearing back in Phase 3 that Shang-Chi was going to be a thing. And I was like, Shang-Chi? They're
Something
bringing
a
in
little different.
Shang-Chi?
Mix it
That
up
would
a
be
little.
awesome. I've never seen that movie.
Don't. You're doing yourself no justice by watching it.
I know. I will never see that movie.
I have seen it, and I don't remember exactly what it was about.
I forgot it was a thing until you said something. I
Might be the
honestly
CGI
wasn't
Every,
color.
sure if it
every,
was a movie or if it was one of the like straight to Disney Plus
everyone
series.
has forgotten that movie.
Including Marvel.
even even Marvel.
Hey, that just means they could reintroduce Shang-Chi at some point. They
So
could redo it.
apparently they actually have Disney has released like the playlist that of like necessary watches for like Doomsday. Shang-Chi did not make the playlist.
Shocker. They have the thing that will always kill me about this is it's like taking a novel and turning it into a movie. It's written down for you already. Just do what the fuck they wrote down. People like the old thing. Just do the old thing in a picture and make money. It should print money every time.
You would think so.
Some people are really good at adapting books to video, um, but that doesn't mean that they're good writers. I'm thinking of Game of Thrones here.
Yeah.
Back
Yep.
when they had the material uh, to rely on, they did pretty well. They varied from it quite a bit, but they did a pretty good job of adapting it to make a good show.
That was probably
Uh,
more for practical reasons than anything. I mean, you have a certain runtime and a certain budget that you have to fit in. You're filming in these huge sets.
Oh
You
no,
you're on a
they
crunch.
did not have a budget restriction. HBO told them that they could go however long that they needed to, and there was no budget.
Okay, so
Um,
and yet they chose for the last season to be, was it 7 or 8 episodes, and
I think it was
everything was
7 episodes.
horribly rushed. Because I think that they were the writers of the show were told that they were going to get a role on doing Marvel films, I think,
No,
and then
Star
that ended up.
Wars.
Oh, it was Star Wars. They were going to get Star Wars, and then that got taken away from them because they did so terribly. I don't know if it's because they did terribly, but that last season of Game of Thrones, and it wasn't just the last season, it was the last couple of seasons. The last season was the most egregious, but it was
yeah,
like the last 3 or 4 seasons where they
you
didn't
could
have
tell
the books to go
tell
on
that they just
anymore,
didn't
and they
have that
had
style.
yeah, they had to just go off of their own, even though they had like outlines from the author
George. Yep.
George, from Mr. Martin. They had the outlines for it, but for what he was planning on doing, they still they couldn't adapt that to video like they could the first ones.
Functionally
I
retarded.
think they also just stopped giving a shit, to be honest,
Yeah.
because like there's a lot of things in there where it's like, we're just gonna start hand waving things away. They had been working on Game of Thrones stuff for a really long time.
Hmm.
Probably,
About 10
I think
years.
there's a certain amount of human uh, relatability to be able to say, okay, they were probably feeling really tired of working on this project and wanted to move on, but they did it in the worst way.
If you're a
So,
creative person, that should be your time to shine. The guardrails are off. Now you get to have fun. Paint the town
so
red. Go
uh,
nuts.
Game of Thrones ended the same year Endgame came out. Did you realize that?
No.
2019.
God, I'm old.
It's
Yes,
been
you're old,
nearly a
comrade.
decade since
7 years.
Endgame and season 8 of Game of Thrones. And funnily enough, George has still yet to come out with the next book.
I know there is no way he's going to finish that series. It's not happening in his lifetime.
I'm sure he's real cut up about it, dabbing his tears on his yacht with his fucking $100 bills.
I've seen some stuff online or stuff from him about how it annoys him when people say he's not going to finish it, or annoys him when people say like they're worried that he's going to die before it's over. But the dude is not a healthy dude.
No,
He's not in healthy shape, and it's yeah,
he's not out
he
there running
doesn't,
marathons.
and he doesn't have unlimited time on Earth. So if he's taking more than 7 years to put out a book, and he's got like three more to do, I think.
Oh, that's only 7 years since the
Right, since the
season
end.
8.
Yeah.
That is not when the last book came out, though. It's been something like 15 years since the last book came out.
Well, luckily he's got the royalties from House of the Dragon too to hold
Oh
him over
yeah,
until that book comes
he's
out.
totally involved with a lot of other writing projects.
Yeah.
He does not want to finish this series.
No, not at all. He did it. He
Okay,
had
so he has 5 of the 7 books out. The last one was released in July 2011. Yeah, it's
oh
been
my.
15 years since that one was out. The one before, it was 6 years. Before that, it was 5 years. And then a year before, and 3 years. So it went, I don't know how long it took for him to make the first one,
You
but
know what
none of
though?
them had been more than 6 years. This
I
one's been
kind of don't blame
15.
him. I kind of can't hate him for it either because like imagine that you're a creative type who's used to working under all this pressure and then you have suddenly find yourself in like the financial freedom to just do whatever the fuck you want. You
Well, dude
wouldn't
just needs to be realistic with himself and others and be like, nope, I'm not doing it. I stopped writing. I'm not
I mean,
writing anymore.
to be fair, I don't want to say he's not doing it because I don't know
He's
if that's
not.
true. Like
He's
not
not.
I can't imagine that he's not working on it at all. I'd imagine he's doing snippets here and there, an outline here and there. He's probably like cutting and scrubbing.
I'm
The dude
fairly
is
certain.
77 years old.
I'm fairly certain
It is a fiddle.
that uh, the ending that we got in season 8 was screenlit by him because he was planning on that being the ending, and the severe, harsh response to that ending has absolutely scared him away from ever completing the books.
I don't think that the ending itself had to be
I don't know if I
bad.
agree
It
with
just
that.
needed the proper writing to
It was
build
unsupported.
up to that, to support it.
Well,
in
one
the
of the,
in the show at least, the idea that like what's his face,
Mm.
Bran, who has a better story than Bran? It's like literally everyone, literally every other character has a better story than Bran. I'm not
Even the ones
against
that
the
died in
idea of if you have a essentially omnipotent person, maybe he should be your king, but or sorry, omniscient, not omnipotent. Um,
I'll make up.
maybe there's some benefits to him being the ruler, but to say that he has the best story out of everyone was just like, no, he doesn't.
We
Okay.
got one season of Ned Stark, and it was better than anything they did with Bran, other than kicking him out a window.
And, oh, God. I was gonna say absolutely, but I don't agree that kicking him out a window was great.
I think it was. We certainly weren't expecting it as an audience. You want to talk about subverting expectations? You don't
It
see a
was
kid
good.
climbing vines and then expect somebody to drop kick him out of an eighth story. You know what I mean?
It was good writing, I think.
That's how you subvert expectations.
the things I do for love.
Mm-hmm. It was a great line. It was a great scene. The setup was wild. Nobody was expecting it. Like if you've never read Game of Thrones, that was the last thing that you were going to expect to happen when he got to the top of that.
Well, and you also have to remember that during the time that Game of Thrones was showing, this was they were doing things in a serialized format that people just didn't do. Like I
Yeah.
remember when Ned Stark died, and I was thinking as like everything hinted that he was going to die. Everyone knew that he was going to die. It was like right there in plain in front of you. Even as he's on the butcher's block or whatever, the executioner's block, I'm sitting there thinking, "Oh, Arya's gonna put her sword skill to use. She's gonna jump up there and free him." I'm just sitting there thinking like, "Ooh," it was like a puzzle in my head. Ooh,
Some
what are they
Deus Ex
gonna do to
Machina.
get him out of this? I'm like trying to figure out what they're gonna do to get him out of this. And then when he didn't, and his head got lopped off, I'm like, oh my god, they did. They
This is
didn't
that
get him
kind
out
of
of it.
show. Okay, we're cooking.
Well, see, and I didn't even have that thought because that kind of show really didn't exist, at least not that I had been exposed to. There weren't shows where you would have a main character that's built up for a season and then you just kill
Yeah.
him. It was
Honestly,
unheard of.
it sounds funny, but that's something you'd more expect from anime that isn't like corrupted by Western tropes and
That's
all
probably
that.
true.
I think the best example of that is one I think it's called like Chaos Dragon. And the intro sets up the whole thing where the entire cast of the show pops up in the intro and you've got like 30 characters lined up shoulder to shoulder, like in like a group photo kind of pose. And every episode you get new X's over the characters of who gets killed off as time goes on in the show.
Hmm.
So you just genuinely, and they introduce everyone fairly early, so you actually get time to like know them and like them. But you genuinely just have no idea who is getting murked next.
I
So
just
anyway,
have to say,
Spider-Man.
I
Oh, go
was
ahead, Gleeman.
just about to say, I was like,
The tangents.
Mauler, I hope that you appreciate this very EFAB episode of Present Company Included. Because I don't remember how long it's been since I hit play.
It's been a while.
It's been a
We're
very long
12
while.
minutes in. Hey, we made it past the 10-minute mark.
That's very true.
Rhino said you
Spoiled
probably do
again.
about 10 minutes.
Packed with flashback imagery of better films on top of scattered stale jokes referencing Lord of the Rings or the fact that scorpions are nocturnal. You get insecure exposition dumps like the detective telling Spider-Man to stop the bad guys from reaching the building. Spider-Man put all the criminals in because the bad guys could end up freeing all the criminals Spider-Man put in the building, and Spider-Man then says, yeah, I know. Who do you think put him in there? Or how about the condescending as fuck line? Sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. The plot looks like
Great line for a better movie.
It could have been written a little bit better.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I could see that in a better movie being a very good line.
I feel like it's stolen from Spider-Man 1.
It might be. I don't remember enough of it. It could 100% be a line from Spider-Man 1 that they recycled.
Oh,
Also,
like
they
it's
said
not like
Scorpion.
one for one, but it's not like line for line, but I it feels like it came from the
It's
ending
in
of
the vein.
Spider-Man 1, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Like when
Also,
he's
they
walking
mentioned
away from
Scorpion.
MJ.
They mentioned Scorpion. We haven't heard anything about Scorpion except for as like a background exposition character. He's
Yeah,
just someone who happens to
he's
float through the
literally
movie.
just a tool. He just a tool for Jean Grey. That's it.
minced confetti after a nice soak in acid. It's just so lucky that Peter bumped into Ned, to then see MJ, to then have an existential crisis over the thought of sitting in the cuck chair, causing a biological reaction that facilitates the creation of a universal inhibitor that he happens to end up using to neutralize Jean. The film is over without that random encounter. The film is also over if Jean doesn't allow Peter to see her face for no reason at all. The film is also
Yeah, she stupidly reveals her face to Spider-Man when
Where's
she
that?
doesn't have to.
Sounded
She
like he
literally
did say
doesn't
that
have to.
he does end up using the inhibitor on Jean, though, right? Isn't that what it said?
Well, he builds the inhibitor for Jean. Yes.
Oh, gotcha. But then convinces her that she's not really a killer,
Yep.
and so
You're
she's
so
fine.
misunderstood.
And she gets to leave on a Greyhound bus.
This is
over
such
if Frank doesn't happen to have every tool Peter needs to construct a universal inhibitor that can deactivate the Hulk, Spider-Man, and Jean I enjoy torturing defenseless old women Grey in his dingy fucking basement. The film is also over if MJ didn't happen to know exactly what the inhibitor needed to work where Spider-Man didn't. What the fuck was with the hand in this stupid movie? Daredevil dealt with them only for them to somehow return, then get defeated by Spider-Man off-screen, to then wander around DODC until the director decided they're a group of kids without a leader that just need guidance.
What the fuck?
It's just silly.
The thing is there is so much wrong with this movie that he is just shotgunning things faster than my brain can process what's wrong with them. Like, I'm still stuck on what the fuck is Scorpion doing? Like, but where is he? I'm stuck on the fact that they have the Punisher, who's just the most useless cuck ever. Even though he's supposed to be the fucking Punisher, he should be the most gnarly motherfucker in this. And the whole time,
Which
Gene
is
could
why
just,
he really shouldn't be in it. Like the Punisher as a hero does not go well with Spider-Man as a hero. Honestly, if they had made the Punisher the villain,
yeah, that would be
then
more
then
fitting.
it would work way better than Jean Grey.
The Punisher isn't an outright villain, but he's very
No,
much
he's not.
anti-hero coded. It's similar to
But
the way Deadpool is.
exactly, he's not necessarily a villain, but he could be I guess the antagonist of the
Yeah,
film. He could be the one
he
that
could
Peter's trying to
definitely
stop.
be up to some funny shit.
So yeah,
Peter Parker and the Punisher, or sorry, Spider-Man and the Punisher buddy cop just that doesn't really work so well.
no, it doesn't. Although from what I hear, Tom Holland and John Berthel, they actually do have great on-screen chemistry, but that doesn't
They
mean
probably
that
do.
Spider-Man and the Punisher should be on screen together being buddy cop.
Honestly, they probably could have done that and made it work. Like, imagine the guy who's just a little too vicious with somebody who's, and I'm referring to Spider-Man here, someone who vastly overpowers them. Because Spider-Man could just knock the Punisher through a building if, frankly, if he wanted to. And he's got these
I
unique
I
powers. So imagine someone like the Punisher getting checked by a kid like Spider-Man as they both have something that they have to do together. I could see that working if it's handled correctly.
I would not trust these writers to handle that correctly.
No, I wouldn't trust them at
Fair
all.
enough.
I wouldn't trust them to walk my fucking dog, but
What
a
the
competent writer
fuck
could have made it work.
hallucinogen are you on, you clown bucket? They say mechanical and organic webs cannot be used at the same time when Peter could obviously just place them on the other sides of his arms and reprint a suit to facilitate that. Hell, he could just put them further down on the same side. Apparently, Peter's spider sense couldn't detect the beeping countdown of the damn bomb in the tank. Apparently, Peter's AI camera system is more advanced and sentient than anything we have, and yet it can't detect a standard-ass fucking intruder bumbling into his own home. How?
Air.
I
So
I
many
am not a
things.
I'm not a fan of the Tom Holland Spider-Man having super advanced like
Yeah.
spider suit and stuff from Stark. And I
It
know
should
that
have
this
gone
this
back to the
isn't even
claws.
that suit, but
Well, that's the thing
the
is
the like hyper high tech, the like nanotechnology advanced stuff, I actually am not a big fan of because it's not even sci-fi at that point. A lot of it is literally just magic.
magic. Yeah.
They did it a little bit in the like the 90s Spider-Man, the cartoon. I think it was the Amazing Spider-Man where
Hmm.
Peter Parker was a science student and he would use his science knowledge to make science things that would help him in his Spider-Manning. But
Right,
the
and
stuff he
that's where
made
like
was,
his web shooters
yeah,
come from. Like
they were
canonically he
practical.
makes them himself, but there's a big difference between a kid in his apartment making the web shooters, which are already like crazy advanced for him to
Yeah,
make, and like nanotechnology and hyper advanced AI and
with
whatever
alien
the
tech.
heck this inhibitor thing is that blocks the blocks the superpowers of literally everyone who has superpowers for any reason. Like
Right.
power, you got powers through gamma radiation. Sure, that'll work. It'll stop that. It's a natural mutation. Yep, it'll stop that, and not kill you or something. Not stop the rest of your natural functions. Just that natural function. It's
100%.
weird.
It specifically targets any DNA that gives superpowers, apparently. That's
Very
magic.
specifically. Even though in Marvel, there are so many ways to get superpowers.
Yep.
Scarlet Witch isn't a mutant.
Yes.
Would it work on her?
Well, Scarlet Witch is a mutant. Do you mean the MCU Scarlet Witch?
Oh, sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Like the
distracted.
MCU Scarlet Witch got her powers from being exposed to the Infinity Stone, right?
Sorry,
So in
thinking of
WandaVision,
Agatha with Mephisto.
in
I got 'em mixed up.
WandaVision, it's actually revealed that she already had the powers. So they kind of retconned. Yeah, she's still a mutant, but the Mind Stone amplified her powers.
Made
Would it
her
work on
more mutant.
Thor? I wonder if it would make Thor weaken Thor.
Probably. Like
Not even human.
him being in Asgard, his powers are still genetic, I think. Ish. So
It's
I'm going
anyways,
to
yeah, it's
skip ahead a
essentially
little bit.
magic and it I'm
Voodoo.
okay with sci-fi. Like I'm okay with that, but need to have some grounding in reality so that you don't have these just, oh, we're just gonna magically make a MacGuffin thing that fixes everything.
Kind of made
It's
sense
lazy.
with the 90s Spider-Man because Spider-Man was like a science engineering student, so he would have been able to make clever little devices that do like little knick-knack stuff that's useful for these scenarios, you know?
Well, the same with
Hey,
like Raimi's Spider-Man. He was, that's where the "I'm something of a scientist myself" line
yeah,
comes from, is
Yeah,
because he was a science student.
yeah,
it was all practical. Like the idea of a glider for like Green Goblin. It's not beyond the pale, like you can't fathom it, right? We
right.
have stuff like that now with hoverboards. We've had them for a while.
Hmm.
So like the little knick-knack technologies that are like useful for villainy or heroing and just kind of give you that edge. I could see that from people who are engineers and developers and stuff like that, or even just a really clever kid could probably make small devices to help him in superheroing. But alien technology that prevents mind control powers, there's no logical through line there. It's just fucking make believe. I'm gonna put
It,
this
it's a
chip in your
div.
head and it's gonna cast a
It,
spell.
it's a it's a universal inhibitor. Therefore, it's technology that somehow uses AI to decode your DNA, your like if it's placed
Would
on
it
you,
work
your
on
specific DNA, and then isolates the genetic code that allows you to have powers and doesn't actually like remove it or anything. It just turns it off.
As we
would it
learned
work
in the
on
last
Doctor
video.
Strange? Because Doctor Strange, it's not a genetic thing. That
No,
is
definitely not.
a
That's straight up magic.
that is literally magic. Would it stop his magic powers? That's what I want to know.
I have no idea.
I would think not, but it seems to essentially be magic itself, so maybe.
Yeah.
We learned in the last video that humans share 50% of their DNA with a banana.
Yep.
Could he have created an inhibitor that turns off the 50% of you that's not banana and made you a banana?
Oh God. You'd be half a
Hey,
banana.
hey.
It sounds stupid, but
Shit
that's a
ton of
legitimate
well.
question. Like, if this is the level of fucking ridiculous we're going to, and he can just turn DNA on and off, he can turn off the DNA that makes you not a banana.
It's gonna get into some evil villain's hands who turns out to be a giant monkey, and that monkey is going to want to turn everyone into bananas.
Thank God
It's
this
gonna be
isn't
terrible.
DC. Gorilla Grodd would have flipped over this.
Well,
Marvel,
and
I am also open if you want my ideas of giant gorilla man turning people into bananas. I'm here.
AI, tech, and means. There is no financial, social, or civilian related struggle possible for him in this movie, where he is supposed to finally be alone, broke, and without a single safety net. The Home trilogy was all about Peter going from a bright eyed, high schooling, superhero in training, inspired yet naive boy to a man. Homecoming presents the difference between using his power to help people because it's the right, thoughtful thing to do instead of doing it for the reward of status and glory he wants by joining the Avengers. Far From Home challenges his flaws in perception, strength, and experience as contrast to the reputation of Earth's mightiest heroes and whether he can fulfill their role, only to realize that each of those heroes were no less flawed than he. Therefore, he only need contrast his success and failure by his own capacity for it. No Way Home pits every last lesson he has learned against the direst of consequences, straining the deontological versus the consequential. Is a decision still moral in
Gleeman, I need a
principle if the
translation.
consequence
hmm?
What is deontological?
Oh, of course you would ask me that.
I legitimately just don't know that word.
No, I understand. And okay, because I know the word because a cosmic
The Googles.
uses it all the time.
Of course he would. That's a very cosmic word.
Deontological ethics, which is sometimes called duty-based ethics, is a branch of ethics that believes people's actions should be based on rules about right and wrong.
Okay, versus the consequentialism, which is based on the potential outcomes.
Yes.
A very like almost a Kentist mentality. Whatever
So
decision leads to the most good is the correct one.
yeah. So deontological would be biblical values versus consequentialism, which is it's only determined by the consequences of the action.
Okay. We're leering.
We leered today.
We are an educational show.
Oh, God.
Costs you the ones you love. With the help of others that have faced the same question and words that will stick with him forever, he not only comes through on the hardest challenge, he chooses to leave this life behind in order to protect everyone from their association with him. That sacrifice gives us an isolated, desperate, low-tech, and stripped-down Peter Parker with a powerful goal and an equilibrium due to his experiences. This was the perfect setup for him to enter college, naturally meet new people he eventually has to juggle once again, like Gwen, Harry, or actual MJ. They could introduce Oscorp, Dr.
Actual
Connors,
MJ.
Black...
I mean, he ain't wrong.
Yep.
It's revealed that she's not Mary Jane. She's Michelle Jones.
You know what?
That was the
I can
loophole.
forgive that. I can. That's such a of all the things, it's so small. It's not even worth harping on.
Can you imagine, though, if you were Mary Jane, like if you did go and meet Mary Jane and started having a thing for her, only for her to find out that there was a previous MJ that he had a love affection for that he couldn't return to. Like, that'd feel pretty bad. You're like definitely
Yep.
chopped liver, kind of, like a replacement MJ.
Well,
I
and
mean,
the thing is though, like with a title like Brand New Day, this was the movie
yeah,
to bring in real MJ. He should have moved on from Ned, from MJ, from his previous life, and been the Spider-Man we all know, in Spider-Man 1 and 2, of like being broke, starting from scratch.
yeah. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, just his wits in a cloth suit, calling it. Making the day a little
Exactly.
better.
Like,
Like low-level crime, maybe like a little like mid to high level as like the final boss. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is like
mhm.
a bigger thing than I thought it was. Have it seem
Well,
small and then work its way up.
not just the Spider-Man side, but showing the Peter Parker side of him struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah.
You get a job at the
Tobey
Daily
Maguire
Planet.
did that really well.
Daily Bugle, you mean?
Or sorry, Daily Bugle. I said Daily Planet, didn't I? That's Superman. The Daily Bugle. Though, if I remember right, in his version, in the
Yeah, the
uh,
Daily Bugle was their version of
it's like Alex
um,
Jones, basically.
yeah, exactly. So he could have been like an on the ground reporter for Alex Jones, or the
Jonah
Daily
Jameson.
Bugle.
Photographer, at
Yeah.
least.
Because that
Something.
was always his thing. Is he was a photographer for the most part.
And you could up that or modernize that to being a videographer for uh, Jonah Jameson.
Yep.
Also, they could have blacked up MJ just a little bit. Michelle Jones, come on. You couldn't have called her like Macretia or something like that, like
Good
really.
God.
I
Thank
mean, if
you,
you're gonna sell
Rhino.
me on it, sell me on it.
Oh my gosh.
cat, they
Mercedes.
could push lesser-known street villains while keeping Peter in control of his agency, showing what he has learned while providing immense pressure, kinda like the movie they bait and switch in the opening minutes of this film, because they weren't interested in telling that story despite John Watts having handed it to them on a platter. You could have explored the notion of isolation despite new connections being made through the insane cast of characters available instead of shoving Ned and Michelle back in and turning Peter into a 5-year stalker because he doesn't
It's so fair. Like
5 years? Is it supposed to have been 5 years since
Yes.
Homecoming?
Yes. Or since No Way Home.
Or sorry, No Way Home. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
that's a long time to be keeping tabs on, but refusing to actually communicate with.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yep. And that's what he uses his surveillance technology to do.
That's even worse. That's
Yep.
genuinely disturbing. This is not Spider-Man.
Nope. Mercedes
Tom
Jones is
Holland should sue.
defamation of character.
Defamation.
Oh, Tom Holland came out and said that he liked Last of Us 2.
You know, people can't be. No one's perfect.
I mean, to an extent, he kind of has to say that, right? If it gets asked of him, was
I
it
never
like
Liking Last of Us 2?
was it like
I
a
never
prompt
actually played
question?
Last of Us 2 myself, but
Like, think of it from a PR perspective. If you're asked about something that you genuinely don't like, but you're supposed to be the likable guy, as like a PR point, wouldn't
Yes, but
your
like
go-to
Tom
be like,
Holland is
"Even if you've never
notoriously
touched
bad
it,"
with PR. The amount of times he has let secrets slip, like
mhm.
he cannot
That's
keep secrets. He just says whatever's on his mind. He does not think PR speak.
no, but that's a lot different than like dogging and like if it was me and someone asked me like, "Oh, what do you think about this and this and this?" and I'd be the first one to say, "Oh, this shit's fake and gay. Fuck that shit." But if somebody with like media training, even if they're bad at it, is going to try and put the best face on it. So I don't want to entirely say that one, he's ever even played it because we don't know. He may have just been like trying to like, oh yeah, it was excellent, it's good stuff. Even if
I
he's
don't
only ever
know.
heard of it tangentially.
That game, like,
Oh yeah, it's dog water, but
and it's universally agreed that it's horrible. So I can't see him taking the side of the game to be the likable guy.
Last of Us 2 should have made so much money. They should have printed enough money to affect inflation. Like it should have been the most massive game to have released in a decade.
According
It's
to
like,
IGN, take it with a grain of salt. The IGN, um,
mm,
he didn't say that he liked Last of Us 2. He said that The Last of Us 2 was his favorite game.
and
Spider-Man star
totally
Tom
unprompted,
Holland
I'm
has
sure.
revealed his favorite game is The Last of Us 2, but he hasn't watched the TV series. That is a wild take. I don't know that I've ever heard anyone say it's their favorite game. I've heard people say they didn't mind it, they liked The Last of Us 1 and they didn't mind what they did to The Last of Us 2. But to say that it's your favorite, oof.
Y'all remember what was the villain girl's name? Abby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all remember how they made her so butch and ugly that everyone thought she was a trans character? And then even after the game came out, people weren't entirely sure for a while.
Again, I never played it, so I wouldn't know, but
That's what I
that
heard.
doesn't
I
surprise
thought she
me.
was a trans character.
No, she wasn't. It came out later, like, no, it's not a trans person, like at all. They're just so fucking ugly that everyone thought it was.
God.
understand how memory works because apparently crime has tanked to an unprecedented low off-screen. The sacrifice from the Home trilogy has been undone by providing him excessive funds, technology, and a whole network of support from every law enforcement institution imaginable. He gets closure and farewells with those he loved on top of reuniting with his best friend. Whereas we had him closing off a life he always wanted in order to protect the woman he loved, he now has been pining for Zendaya for near half a decade until breaking that sacrifice, getting involved in their lives, putting her in immense danger, finding out she isn't even the woman he knew anymore, and she simply doesn't love him, obviously, which prevents
I mean, yeah, obviously. It's been 5 years. Her memory was erased of you. Yeah, she doesn't love you, Peter.
I mean, man, she's cute. She ain't that cute. She ain't. I'm gonna stalk you, cute. Let's be real.
Well, you have to think, there's the whole, like, he was with her for how many years?
I know. I'm obviously
So
just kind of taking a piss on him, but
I totally get that, or I get why he might pine for her, but for 5 years, especially when he made the decision to remove her memory and not introduce himself again to her, it's
you know,
like,
I
okay,
could see
move on.
taking a couple of weeks to think about how to broach the subject, right? Like, and your memory's erased, you don't remember me at all. I'm gonna need to figure out my wording here. But beyond a couple of weeks, yeah, move on. You're done.
I don't know. You can to be fair, I can see somebody if they were super close to somebody and they think about like losing that person. I could, kind of like a figurative death. I could see
Right.
somebody holding on to that for a really long time. Like
And I could see that too, like
what little
emotionally
fairness I
holding
can give
on to
this
it.
movie.
I could see emotionally holding on to it, but you also, at that point, you have to come to the conclusion that it's over, that there isn't
Yeah,
anything there. Like there shouldn't be any surprise that when you tell her that she doesn't love you. Like, of
yeah.
course.
I
Yeah.
mean, if anything, it should be the one
She
thing
doesn't
you
know who you
expect.
are.
Yeah.
I was just saying, as
And
far as like the pining goes, like I can to give this movie a little grace, I can see that and that sticking with you for a long time.
see, the
I actually
thing
think
is,
if he's using the
pining,
AI,
he's pining, but he's also not doing anything about it. He's just stalking her and Ned.
yeah, I was gonna say if he's using the AI to like keep tabs on them and to like be watching them all the time, that's gonna make it worse. That's like gonna
Yeah.
get in his own head. It's not good behavior. Even if you
them from
intend it
being
as good at
together.
first.
This is decidedly less potent, less selfless, and less meaningful than the payoff they've
That's a
destroyed to
good visual to
facilitate
back you up
this.
with that.
Peter
He's doing the same thing Ultron did because he is essentially because Ultron went into the internet and was kind of everywhere all at once, and that's basically what he's doing to everyone around him's lives. Ultron was a supervillain for doing it. And he's just a heartbroken kid. Like, where are we going to draw the line here?
Yeah.
incorporates his shadow self in the story. He finds his balance in being Peter Parker and Spider-Man when faced with the idea he has to choose. Something that was previously shown great consequence now exists as a cop-out, allowing him everything he wanted. The fame, celebration, social network, finance, technology, and psychological peace. This functions as shitty DLC for No Way Home that undermines all of the character and thematic work. In addition admission, this story is more so about redeeming a psychotic monster for no reason than it is a stress test of Peter Parker's principles, of which he fails. Also,
It's
Yeah.
it's kind of against the whole idea that he gets this kind of happy ending, this like he gets the conclusion or the like he gets to be at peace with things, and that's very antithetical to the archetypical Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man, I remember seeing or hearing people with like Raimi Spider-Man, people sad all the time, being like, "Why can't Peter just be happy? Why can't he just have a happy ending? Why don't the writers ever let him?" And that's part of his story. It is almost a tragedy. He
Yeah.
can't have that happiness, and there's reasons for it. There's reasons
Absolutely.
why he has to go through the pain. Every
It's
Spider-Man has to lose a essentially a Uncle Ben. Like
of the top three superheroes: Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the everyman, and what makes him the everyman is that he is relatable to everybody's struggle,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what people see in him. So yes, it's very typical for readers and viewers of Spider-Man to see Peter Parker struggle all the time and want him to have peace, want him to have that happy ending, and never quite getting that because that's the point of the character.
Also, the struggle in this which, to be fair, the other Tom Holland Spider-Mans was very different also. But at least there was a coherent struggle that he was going against because he was part of something bigger than himself that he wasn't entirely ready for. So it
Hmm.
had that going for it. With this, it's not like the Maguire Spider-Man where he's broke, he's friendless, he has a boss that hates him, nobody respects him. What made Spider-Man so relatable was that he was downtrodden from start to
Hmm.
finish, but he was still a good person at the end of the day. He
Yep.
took it on the chin and he kept trucking because he knew it was the right thing to do. Even though he wavered a little bit and he was still a flawed person, he did the best he could with what he had and he just kept it moving. It was almost like a foible, like a moral story
Hmm.
where things are going to happen. You're going to get kicked while you're down, but you have to get back up. You can't just lay there.
Yep. Yep. And I was literally just thinking about how um, Peter, especially with Spider-Man 2, you have him trying to do his pizza delivery,
Yeah.
and
Something so simple.
he has to save someone in the midst of it, but he's also still trying to get the job done. So he arrives, and the pizzas are all messed up, and like his face shows he's like, I made it. I was able to do the hero thing, but I also got the pizzas where they're supposed to be. And then the guy's like, I'm not paying for those. You're late, and so look at those boxes.
Hmm.
They're absolutely wrecked. So I'm not paying for those. And so he has to go back to his employer who's like, this is the last straw. Not like you didn't, you weren't able to do this one thing that you're supposed to do. And like, and that's part of the struggle for Peter Parker is he wants to do the right thing, but he's also trying to make ends meet.
yeah,
Also, the employer wasn't played off like a villain in that role either. Like he was perfectly understandable from
Yeah.
like his POV.
I think he even says like this is like the fifth time or the sixth time,
Yeah,
something like that.
he qualified it.
You get the sense that he's given Peter several chances because Peter is a good guy. Like Peter is obviously trying, and sometimes things
But
just
he
don't
has
work out.
this thing he does of trying to be a superhero that takes up large portions of his time that he can't tell anybody about. So he can't really explain why these large portions of his time are taken up. I think in that same film, he's talking with Harry, and Harry's asking him like, "Where do you go all the time?" And he's just like, "Around." When he
Mm-hmm.
was telling him about losing his job, because he, yeah, he doesn't have a way to actually explain it. If if they knew, oh, I'm Spider-Man, I had to stop some people from performing a mugging or whatever, they'd probably be more okay with it. But he
I
can't do that.
I just remembered that there was one brain dead take on X, and this is part of what made me uh, put out that post about absolute morons on the internet.
Little known fact,
Um,
X is actually built on brain dead takes. That's the foundation. So it
Me
doesn't
and
surprise
Gleeman get a
me.
lot of satisfaction out of it.
but this one brain dead take was they took a clip from Spider-Man 2 where it's Peter and he watches, I think it was like this police chase go past him, and then he just eats his hot dog.
Mhm.
Like there's no care in the world. Completely out of context, and they're like, "This is your hero that you're praising." I'm like, "You're taking that completely out of context. That was part of the arc that he was on during that
Yeah,
movie of
he had
him
more.
letting go of his heroing so that he could actually do better in his personal life."
Yeah, that was when he was tried to give it up. Tried to give up being Spider-Man entirely.
Had that sick dance scene.
Because he was tired of
No, that
failing
was
everyone
Sam.
in his personal life. Everyone in his personal life, he was failing, both in his professional life, I guess, and in like relationships. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it all. I have to give up being Spider-Man.
I think the dance scene was Spider-Man 3, Rhino.
Yes, it was.
They blur together for me so
It
bad. I
was.
haven't seen them in such a long time.
I actually
Well,
saw
that's Bully
Spider-Man 2.
Maguire, so
I actually saw Spider-Man 2 like a week ago or something. So it's a little more fresh in my mind.
Next time my son comes over, I'm gonna have to watch the Spider-Mans with him again. We used to watch them
The
all the time when he was little.
the reigning Spider-Mans are really good.
They're
I mean,
excellent.
hmm
three three has that same curse that I think X3 had, but it's just tried to do too much at the same time, not having the writing chops to quite handle it.
Right.
But it's better than a lot of stuff we see these days. So
Absolutely.
To be clear, Jean could have been given a story that even related to the notion of redemption. Please see Faith's story in Buffy. But this film doesn't bother trying. It doesn't even believe she requires redemption. The film doesn't even know she's evil, for fuck's sake. They often use footage from the Home trilogy in this film, as if they are now the ones to make the point of his loss, when that's already been given a strong and clean conclusion. The story was ready for the adult trilogy, and by gum are they sure to tell you repeatedly that this is the mature Spider-Man movie, despite having all the hallmarks of an epileptic toddler transcribing a report of his latest nap with crayons and milk.
Amazing visual. What a wordsmith. The Shakespeare of our time.
It truly is.
I could learn a thing or two from him. I
Oh,
mean, I come up with some
absolutely.
doozies, but you couldn't. I, to be fair, I would love to. I would love nothing more than to sit around and bullshit with this guy, but we could never be in the same room together.
dude, the two
Oh,
of you just workshopping insults. Like, I would love to see someone says something stupid on X, and the two of you just planning an insult to go back at the idiot.
Just going in.
Yeah, I would love to just be a fly on the wall and listen to the two of you go for it.
oh goodness.
Spider-Man Brand New Day is a bloated, disjointed, nonsensical, disrespectful, chaotic disaster with a heavy dollop of retard on top. It is stuffed with as-you-know dialogue, plot holes aplenty, as well as constant stretches to facilitate the extremely weak story. All for a rehash of a better executed theme from a better story while assassinating everyone in the process. Peter Parker is the grand potentate of excessive mongoloides throughout the film, and his agency is more robbed from him than ever. He takes forever to catch on to the plot. He just watches as an innocent man gets pelted by a car in front of him. He keeps making the wrong decisions because of information he either understands incorrectly or doesn't even have. He makes enormous tactical errors throughout that can easily get people killed, and experiences little to no struggle on the financial, technical, and social levels set in place by the prior story. Jean Grey is a cruel monster who escapes all accountability, and the film seems to have no clue this happens. I suppose we can call it the Wanda Syndrome.
That
Very
that is
true. I
appropriate.
haven't even seen this movie, but from everything I'm seeing here, that tracks 100%. Because they
Like
were
this
totally unaware she was the villain.
this scene in particular, what she's saying here is that um oh gosh, how does she phrase it? Um
I killed them all.
Is this from
Women and
WandaVision?
children too.
no, this one is from Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, I never actually saw that. I remember it came out around the same time as everything. No, what's it called? Anything, everything, all at once. Uh,
A better
Yeah,
movie.
everything everywhere all at once.
everything. Yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once. And I was, I remember people saying, "Don't go see Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. This is what Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness should have been.
Yes.
Watch that instead." And I did, and it was a good film.
Yes.
Oh,
It is
weird,
great
weird
film.
in some places. So very
Very
weird.
very weird fighting with the dildos. It's very weird. Um it's
Have you seen it, Rhino?
I've only seen clips of it, but everyone tells me that it's an excellent movie.
It
oh,
is actually really good
absolutely excellent.
and carries some actual like emotional scenes. It's weird by the end of it to be like, what is the like part way through? It's like, what is this universe where people have hot dog fingers? And then by the end of it being like, having some, not a great level, but some level of emotion for the plight of the people with hot dog fingers. Like, what has this movie done to me?
Whereas anything Marvel does that you're supposed to feel emotionally attached to is just vapid and empty. Like I'm not
I,
attached to these people.
dude, Rhino, I kid you not. I kid you not. You watch everything everywhere all at once, and you will tear up as rocks are watching a sunset.
Yes.
I gotta see this fucking movie.
And you will also get to see people who are like mid fight scene attempting to jump and land ass first on a dildo. They're like,
Excellent.
as the main character's trying to prevent them from being able to put a dildo up their butt.
And what is it? It's the everything bagel?
Yep, the everything bagel.
The everything bagel. It's
Got
pinnacle to
everything.
it's very key
Key
to the plot.
It is very key to the plot, as are googly eyes. Googly eyes are very
Yes,
important.
absolutely.
Well, I don't know about key to the plot, but they're
It's central to the
central.
plot.
Yeah, central and meaningful.
Yes.
The way you're
Anyways,
describing it, it actually reminds me of an anime I watched a long time ago called Samurai Flamenco, which if anyone out here is an OG and has seen it, you're a real one because nobody has seen this fucking anime and it's one of the best I've ever seen. And instead it's not world hopping, but it has that kind of like weirdness where everything is just odd every episode. It's an anime and it's only one season, and every single episode takes on a different genre of film. The first one is like your traditional drama, and then it becomes a police show, and then a superhero show, all the way up to like a full on Power Rangers episode. But there is so much like emotional weight attached to the characters and the weird stuff that they have going on because they're written so well that it's actually like heartbreaking. Every single person has like that one it's just like that one great scene that's super quotable, and you are just devastated when they have their like one time to shine.
What did you say it was called?
It's called Samurai Flamenco.
Samurai Flamenco. All right.
I thought it was a very serious show that would, because I had no context for it. My buddy Matt just told me to watch it, and I'm like watching it, and I was like, okay, this is kind of unique and interesting, and it's going through, and it's like, oh, we're a police show, and now we're like vigilante. There's a vigilante superhero angle. Okay, I see what we're going for here. Kind of developing it. It's a bit of a slow burn, and then they introduced a character called Guillotine Gorilla, and I was like, okay, we're fucking cooking. I don't know what they're smoking when they wrote this, but I need more of it.
All right.
So-
Just a quick heads up, we are about 4 minutes away from the 3 hour mark.
Hell yeah.
So
We are
we're
cooking. How much longer do we have on the video?
Oh, we're not finishing this video.
a lot. And we skipped like of what we've got through, we skipped like half of it.
We
Oh,
skipped
dear.
about 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Many such cases.
So, yeah, in this scene in particular, Wanda says to Doctor Strange, you used magic to change the world, and you're praised for it. I used it, and I'm the villain. How is that fair?
Because
Because she held an entire town captive as her playthings.
in their own brain.
She enslaved a entire town full of people for her own pleasure, for her own selfish desires.
I don't disagree.
I mean, that's I'm just answering her question. That's why.
Pretty obvious on the face of
Because
it.
she's selfish and villainous.
Yes.
This show was a prime
Gee.
example of Marvel wasting potential because like the first 3-4 episodes had me locked in. Like that
Yes.
1950s aesthetic with like the weird
Mhm.
little awkward things going on in the background, hinting at something bigger.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, they had me in the first half.
I would have much preferred that instead of her knowingly subjugating an entire town in all this, that it truly was just she had like a mental breakdown and
Yeah.
she lost herself in this fantasy and didn't actually realize what was going on in the town.
What if it was really Agatha all along doing it?
Yes.
No, like no joke. What if she was the one that had like orchestrated the whole thing instead of being just like a villain who happened to be there? Not even really sure what villainous thing she did. It wasn't anything crazy.
She killed Sparky. That's about all that she did.
Yeah.
And I'm not even quite sure if Sparky was real.
It would have made more sense for Agatha to have made the whole thing to sap her power or, some magic voodoo or whatever. And her, because she was so in love with Vision, was just along for the ride and was willing to accept it because he was back.
could
It
see
would have
that.
made way more sense.
I could see that.
It would have carried a lot more weight too.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm available, Marvel.
Kills countless innocent people when having absolutely no reason to, while enjoying the cruelty of torture and sexual assault with no sense of accountability in sight, even ending up sparing the one actual piece of shit that killed her sister. The justification is meant to be her lack of trust in anyone after her sister is abducted by a group of people who are essentially and simply evil by notable contrast to most everyone else. As though we're supposed to believe this event temporarily took her out of character and put her on a path of a fucking serial killer, whereas you...
Sounds
Yeah,
about right to me.
it's like, oh yeah, her kidnapping her sister just temporarily made her into this psychotic, mind raping, mass murdering psycho. But before then, she was completely mentally there. Like
Yeah. A
she was
little lapse
mentally
in judgment.
stable.
Like spilling your coffee, you know, it happens to the best of us.
Oh, and I think it's something that we skipped over, but in the movie, they show that she and her sister are having some fun testing out the boundaries of their capabilities, and they are simply like mind controlling people around them for funsies.
You know, like girls do.
Yeah. So totally innocent.
would think she would only target those at the higher end of the DODC while giving her unique insight on the kind of damage she is seen dealing to random innocent people. But no, and it is the notion of her beauty and brilliance that stops her rampage right up to the doorstep of DODC Hitler. Somehow, I am to believe this bails her out, removing any consequences from her heinous actions, despite her having entered the minds of so many innocent people with extreme trauma that she tortured anyway. None of their minds made the difference. No. It was Aunt fucking May. Because I guess she's this universe's therapist, anchor being or something. Regardless.
I forgot those were a thing.
Oh, anchor beings. A concept silly enough for a Deadpool movie, but any of the rest of the movies, it just doesn't work in.
No. They act like you have to
Gene
take it
tells Pete.
seriously.
What was that?
I was gonna say, and they want you to take it seriously whenever it comes up. Like, oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's integral to the plot.
It's a stupid concept.
You need a decade for Marvel to just like take a nap.
Yep. Yep. Just leave Marvel alone. Let it die.
I'm so glad I never got that Howard the Duck movie now. Leave my boy alone.
That we don't get to have friends and family and those that love us, as some kind of harsh lesson for those with power when, well, yeah, we don't get to have loved ones because you are killing them all. She is a mind-raping rectal tumor. She's rotted gunt cheese. She's a wretchful fucking harridan. She belongs in the depths of the raft until darkness is all she remembers. What wonders she's performed in making the mutant cause sympathetic. Maybe Stryker was right. I didn't even really...
Fair.
Oof.
Also, the raft is something they seem to have forgotten about.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That place existed for 5 minutes.
I don't
Along
remember
with
what
the
the raft
Sokovia
was.
Accords.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Sokovia Accords.
The raft
What?
was in Civil War. It's where they keep the most dangerous of criminals.
Should have put him in the boiling rock.
Well, that was essentially what the raft was the equivalent of the boiling rock.
Yeah.
I don't know that reference.
Avatar: The Last
Avatar: The Last
Airbender.
Airbender.
Oh, okay. Been many moons since I've seen.
Mention
But yeah, I
Phenomenal
agree.
show.
After this introduction of mutants to the MCU, they bring in Stryker. It's like, oh yeah, Stryker's right.
MJ as a character, by the way, despite her heavy screen time. Zendaya plays a moderately frustrated woman who discovers after being mind-controlled into sexually assaulting a stranger that her entire life is a lie. Her previous self was essentially, philosophically speaking, killed, and all she seems to have the drive to explain is that this guy her past self was in love with can't be with her because she currently doesn't love him, as though she's not a character in and of herself and instead is locked into the thematic Peter Parker arc dialogue when she should probably be having an existential crisis on top.
I mean, he's not wrong. Like, if you're told that a previous version of you is gone, like vaporized,
And then it's proved to you.
yeah, and it's proved to you that this happened, and you're talking to the person who made it happen. Like, you essentially killed a part of me.
You murdered me. And then brought me back so you could probably do it again later, you sick fuck.
Pretty much. Like, it's like, okay, you had me forget you, and you erased this whole part of me, and you returned for seconds? Why are you talking to me?
I'm pretty sure she kind of agreed to him erasing her memory, though. He did say that he would find her and
He promised that he would
promised he
find
would find
her,
her and tell her, and he didn't do that.
Yep.
Also, she wouldn't remember it anyway. So you just have some weirdo just coming up being like, oh, you're
I'm
the
just
love of
saying
my
that
life.
I think there was some level of consent there. It was, either consent to this or the end of the world happens. So maybe that's not really consent. There's a little bit of coercion there.
It doesn't make much difference though to her because she doesn't remember it.
Right.
So as far as she's concerned, she's like, okay, even if I consented to it, there's a whole side of me that is now dead. It's gone. And you did that knowing that that would happen. And it was meant so that you could break ties with me. Yet here you are trying to reestablish something. You're sick.
It's funny in a way because it's actually kind of like how anesthesia works. Because anesthesia doesn't make you asleep through the surgery. They give you anesthesia in combination with a paralytic. So you are unmoving throughout the surgery, but you're awake for it. But because of the way anesthesia works, you don't remember it afterwards. So the whole time you're getting surgery done to you, you're awake and you're aware of everything. It's just like that memory of it is snatched from you. That's basically what happened to her.
Are you sure about that? I'm a little suspicious of that claim.
I'm fairly certain. I think my mom told me that before, and she is a nursey type.
What does a nursey type mean?
RN?
Oh, registered nurse?
Yes.
Okay, so an actual nurse then.
Yes.
Nursey type made me think, someone in the nurse, vicinity, someone who does kind of nurse-like things.
Her credibility was very much in question when he said, she's a nursey type.
I have some experience with nurses. I used to work at a hospital, and I worked in their cafeterias. The nurses were by far the most likely people to steal from the cafeteria. They'd always be
Jesus
walking out
Christ.
with, they'd be grabbing muffins and stuff and leave and trying to pretend that it was that they that there was nothing wrong with them just taking them.
Okay, so it is true, but I found an even more horrifying fact. Um, Although they also give you something that makes you unconscious during it, so it's kind of partially true because they give you something else on top of it with the paralytic to knock you out for it. So if not for the knockout thing, you would be aware. Um, the anesthesia awareness, where you remember after anesthesia, occurs in 1 of every 1,000 people. So while you are
That's too many people.
with this condition called anesthesia awareness or waking up during surgery, the patient can recall their surroundings and events that occurred during surgery despite the induction of general anesthesia. Although it can be upsetting, patients do not feel the pain when experiencing anesthesia awareness. So you're not aware of anything like physically, but you are mentally aware and you can hear the doctors talking and doing the surgery around you.
Okay, but general anesthesia makes you fully unconscious and unaware, with loss of sensation and muscle relaxation, used for major surgeries.
So
Yes.
this might be a your mileage may vary thing, depending on what they do.
So you
This is
were
from the
talking
American
about
Society of
one of the fringe
Anesthesiologists.
cases of it not working, and that's what happens to you. But generally speaking,
Yeah,
it does
generally
knock you
speaking,
out.
it does. You're not going to be aware of it. I just saw that little sub note under there, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's a thing. 1 in 1,000. That's way too common." New
Of some
nightmare fuel.
serious outrage. Like, this whole thing is embarrassing. Now, let me tell you something. The Punisher is the mooing retard we now all know and are forced to endure, spending the movie being more accidentally ruthless than he's ever consciously allowed to be. He spends so much time blowing up the world that it would be impossible for him to move through and rest in a fucking hospital without being arrested. They could have.
Yeah, he gets to drive openly in broad daylight, and he takes Spider-Man to a hospital in broad daylight and sits in the hall.
And he doesn't wear a mask while he's doing his thing, so people know, hey, look, that's the Punisher. That's him. That's the guy.
This is after apparently season 2, when he has been very openly, like I guess you could say, terroristic. Uh, he has
I haven't
been
watched
openly
any of
a
their shows,
vigilante.
so I haven't watched any of the Marvel shows, so I'm sorry. I hate that they're mixing the shows and the movies, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like like
Well, they
ooh,
said that they wouldn't, but of course they
and
would.
here they are. Yep. And now you need to go and watch several seasons of a show so that you are familiar with this character.
Yep.
That's
Don't worry, they have it.
I don't like it.
Well, they have to
Well,
make the shows relevant somehow.
Well, they
they
can't
say
do it by
that, but it
making them
just
good.
means that people like me are just turned off from watching the movie entirely.
Yeah.
Like, okay, to
Yep.
be fair, there's plenty of reasons to be turned off from watching this movie from what I've been hearing. But like I'm not going to go and pay for a Disney Plus subscription so that I can sit and watch a couple seasons of a show that I'm not particularly interested in just so that I have the homework done before watching the movie. That's it's ridiculous that they think that that's what's going to happen.
It's amazing. The best stuff on Disney Plus is the stuff Disney didn't make.
Yep.
Like Brave Little Toaster. It's on Disney Plus. They didn't make that shit, and that's definitely better than this.
I agree.
Had him take Peter to Claire, but oh no, that might have made sense. Frank is a muzzled comic relief puppet in this film. What's frustrating is he has more trauma in one day of his life than Jean could ever understand, only for the movie to have her experience that and make a fucking joke. You can't try to wedge the Punisher as some kind of thematic, reflective, cautionary tale in self-imposed isolation for Peter, while also making his PTSD and the entire character Marvel humor. Fuck off. Frank
Yeah.
All that needs is someone looking into the camera, shrugging, and saying, "Well, that just happened."
Essentially,
Then we'd
yeah.
have like the full millennial writing wrap up there.
Yeah.
was right in the one moment he was given a brain cell. Jean should
One moment he was given a brain cell. Yep. Sniping her was the right move.
Correct.
It absolutely is. I mean, she's a terrorist.
Yeah.
And you're definitely more than 33 feet away.
Yep.
You
And
don't negotiate with terrorists.
she was as it comes from WandaVision, she was holding a whole town hostage. In this case, a whole city hostage.
New York City.
Yep.
That's a huge population.
Yep.
But are we talking like Yonkers or like wherever Mamdani's at?
Manhattan.
Take it or leave it.
Well, I would prefer less people die. So
I know.
And the obvious, you could say this is a trolley problem if you want, but the obvious solution is to save the millions of people living in New York by killing the woman who is threatening to murder them all.
Oh, 100%.
Although, given the current state of Manhattan, it would solve our immigration problem.
All of a sudden, housing is very affordable now that all these people have been
real estate
essentially
up for grabs.
Thanos snapped.
You get it cheap too, because they'd be afraid it'd happen again.
at least be in prison or simply executed before she can destroy the world on an emotional whim. Instead, everyone enables the fuck out of her with Frank crying. The lack of Jean Grey's accountability does indeed echo onto Frank and Peter, by the way. Also, the whole VMAX plot was so retarded I'm not even getting into it. Bloody VentMax, for fuck's sake. So anyway...
Yeah, apparently...
What's that?
So... one of the last things that she saw as her sister was being taken away was a VMAX truck or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually a VentMax truck that the DODC was using undercover. And the vent, or ENT of VentMax was just faded out. So all she saw was VMAX. And so she's searching for this VMAX. And it...
Oh, so that's the one clue that she has to go on to find her sister. And so she's looking for VMAX.
Yeah. And
it was a red herring.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stupendous.
And are embarrassingly fucking hilarious. Your ancient order of ninjas seeking immortality, sire. Spawned out of nowhere, working for fucking damage control, wandering around the office like fucking Michael Scott.
Who are
only
those
to be
ninja
wiped
people?
out in
Like,
one
what are they from?
The Hand,
Yeah,
they're
the Hand.
Daredevil villains.
Oh, so I don't just have to watch The Punisher. I need to watch Daredevil too.
No, this is a different Hand.
And the Hulk, and X-Men, and the Spider-Mans. Who else is in
Wait,
here?
so this is the
Oh, don't
hand, but
forget-
it's the different hand? It's like the left hand.
And Black Widow.
So Daredevil defeated the Hand in his series, and
Right.
then there was another Hand that Spider-Man had defeated off screen, and these are a new Hand that work for the DODC.
It's like the Foot Clan from Ninja Turtles. It's just like this endless supply of retards that he just finds all over.
Malicious disrespect doesn't even begin to cover it. Even Yelena got assassinated with a minute of screen time. Tombstone is in the story for about 3 seconds as part of a montage,
What?
just like Scorpion until he gets hit by a Looney Tunes piano. Only in Scorpion's case, you do see him in one more action scene. A scene where he's mind-controlled by Jean, and therefore not Scorpion. The mind-melted writers do this despite Scorpion having actual history and a grudge with Spider-Man. A grudge that's festered for 10 fucking years, and it ends with him getting wily coyoted in a passing montage. Meaning the main villain, along with the Hand, the DODC, Scorpion, and the battle with the Hulk are all entirely disconnected from Peter on a personal level. Either it's Jean who wants the DODC, or it's people she's...
So, yeah. This is the second where he's showing that none of the villains of the story have anything to do with Spider-Man.
None of the stakes are his.
Yeah.
See, in Sam Raimi's, it was the Green Goblin, which was the
Norman Osborn.
Norman Osborn, essentially Peter's best friend's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And Doc Ock.
Then Doc
was
Ock.
his college professor.
Yep.
Yep. And fellow scientist.
Fellow scientist.
I have a mentor type.
And then in Spider-Man 3, say what you will, but it was Eddie Brock, who was a fellow photographer, who Peter was basically outperforming in his job. You had Harry Osborn, the Hobgoblin, and Sandman was the only one who wasn't directly related. No, Sandman was related. He was the
connected to
real. Yeah, he was the real shooter of Ben.
Yeah.
All three of them connected
Wait,
to
Sandman
Peter
was the
Parker.
real shooter of Ben?
Yep.
I don't remember that. So the
No.
guy.
Sandman wasn't the real shooter. He was wrongfully convicted for Ben's death, if I remember right.
No. He was the actual shooter for Ben. And Peter had gone after the wrong guy in Spider-Man 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was sort of like the retcon in Spider-Man 3, was that Sandman, I forget who the guy was, but he was the actual
Clint Marco.
one who, he was the actual one who shot Ben. So yeah, all three of them, personal ties to Peter Parker.
Yeah. And like not small ones either.
Nope.
And I bet if we did a little analysis, we'd see that they each kind of represent something important for Peter as well, such as like the Green Goblin was someone else who gained their powers in a kind of similar way. It's a science experiment instead of it being a
Gone wrong. Yeah.
spider, but it's yep, gone wrong, and tries to convince him to use his powers for selfish reasons, and predicts that the city will turn on him. Um, like one of the things that I think is interesting about a lot of the Phase One stuff, and I know this isn't Phase One, right? This is separate, but a lot of the Phase One stuff is that the heroes, their villains, are essentially them. It's the same powers, the same sort of stuff. Iron Man had to go up against what's his face in the bigger Iron Man suit, right? And
They
Ironmonger.
mirror them in some way.
right, it mirrors them in a way that makes it so that the heroes have to essentially prove that they are worthy of this power as opposed to these other people. That there's
Hmm.
something about them as a person, not that just the power itself, but them as a person that makes them worthy of it. Um, so Iron Man defeating the Ironmonger, uh, even like what Black Panther defeating was Killmonger. Is that his name?
Yep.
What? Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
You have Iron Man defeating Ironmonger. You have Thor defeating Loki. You
yeah.
have um, Captain America defeating Red Skull. You
Which was
have
Red Skull was literally somebody who had a the
the
super
superhero
hero
or the
serum,
super soldier
super soldier serum.
serum.
Yeah, but
Yep.
an older version that didn't have all as many of the kinks worked out, so it
No, no, no,
messed
no. It
up
was the
his face.
same. No, it was the same serum.
Are
That
you
was
sure?
what was
I thought that
explained.
it was he had like a negative effect to it, and that's why his face is red. That's why he's
Well,
the Red Skull.
that was the thing that the doctor Stanley Tucci is talking about um, to Steve is the serum amplifies everything that's inside of you. So
Right.
bad becomes worse, good
Yep.
becomes
Right.
Flaws
great.
are amplified as well.
Yep.
So yeah, people
Um,
had to be they had to prove that they were worthy and better than someone with essentially the same powers. Um, and
yep.
I think you see that a lot in Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man is a kind of tech whiz who got his powers from science, from a genetically engineered spider,
Hmm.
um, and fights a bunch of other people that are just based around science and tech.
Yep. Science going wrong.
Mind controlling to facilitate that purpose. Not Spider-Man nor Peter Parker are relevant to these people. They don't want to hurt him. They don't have some fundamental difference in philosophy. They don't want to take his status, his fame, his resources. They don't have a chaotic desire to crush his idealism, forcing him to abandon his heroic nature. They are just, unfortunately, the current obstacles for him to take down. Similarly, the film never actually has Frank and Peter explore their core philosophical differences defining rehabilitation versus retribution and prevention, other than making a few memes out of it, though that shouldn't be surprising with how HR-friendly and assassinated they both are. I think the film forgot Peter actually cared about Happy. He doesn't even get a mention. Peter and Frank simply don't give a fuck about
That's a
Bruce
good
being
one.
carted off to a
Marvel definitely forgot Happy existed.
Oh yeah. And probably because uh oh gosh, John
Favreau?
Favreau is well, is he busy with Star Wars at the moment, or was he?
No idea.
I wonder if he had a hand in Mandalorian and Grogu. I think that was Favreau's project, maybe.
A psychiatric hospital as a result of the authorities having no clue why he snapped, when Peter knows exactly why and how this hero has been mind-controlled and does nothing to help him. Instead, he plays with his buddies. His fate is beyond cruel and gross. Bruce Banner, despite being fumbled so hard by this stupid universe, has spent years getting his rage under control, only to be torn out against his will and dropped into a catastrophe. This is like taking a decade-long teetotaler, knocking them out, feeding them alcohol, and then leaving them in the street. Nobody helps him, despite every...
That, yeah, that. I have my issues with Professor Hulk. It didn't make much sense to me. But doing that to Bruce Banner, of all people, and Peter not helping him out after that.
Yeah.
And it's Mark Ruffalo. It's okay.
I'm not a huge fan of him myself, but I still hate what they did to the character.
Yeah. Fair. By the way, I looked it up. Yes, Jon Favreau directed Mandalorian and Grogu. And
Okay.
it was also written by him, along with a couple other people.
Oh,
including
that
Dave
explains.
Filoni. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Noah Kluwer. I'm not familiar with Noah Kluwer, but that's pretty cool.
Yep, that is very much their movie. They can have it.
Okay.
everyone, especially Gene.
What?
Are you not a Dave Filoni fan?
No.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
He is very much a. I like to play with my action figures on screen, and I like to smash them together. And look, their figures are smashing together. Lightsabers, woohoo! That's the that's the quality of his work.
I mean, he was a director on Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
I mean, I'm sure he didn't direct every episode. I just know that he was a director.
Or most of them, I'm sure.
And also, pretty much the Avatar: The Last Airbender, I can't even attribute it to the creators of the
Oh no,
Avatar:
it was
Last Airbender.
Aaron
Ehaz.
Ehaz?
Yes.
Yeah.
Head writer for 61 out of 62 of the episodes. Yes.
You can tell that it was him that made it great because everything they've made since then did not have him included and have all been
Shit.
depressing.
Yes.
You can tell how good a movie is going to be by how little involvement he's had.
Who?
Filoni in anything he touches.
Okay. I was like, Aaron Ehaz?
No, not that person.
No, the Filoni absolutely. Like Ahsoka, that was his baby.
Oh, the fucking worst.
Oh, the movie Ahsoka?
No, the series Ahsoka.
Or the series?
Yeah, that was all Filoni.
I know that Ahsoka came from like the Clone Wars, and I haven't watched the Clone Wars, but people seem to really like it, and he was heavily involved in that too.
Ahsoka was Filoni's original character. She was meant to die in the Clone Wars. He couldn't let that happen. So he played with
we all
time
know
travel.
That in Star Wars, the characters don't actually die anyways. The dark side is able to bring people back to life after being exploded multiple times.
Mm.
Samuel Jackson's coming back.
The Emperor Palpatine just back for some reason. God, I'm never gonna get over that. The way that trilogy has absolutely destroyed the original trilogy. Like its existence makes the original trilogy worse.
Yes, absolutely. And
It's a unique feat, honestly.
Yeah.
even the small, uh, supposed to be like the Star Wars stories that were like ancillary, did harm. Like Solo, I didn't know it was possible, but Solo actually harms the character. I can't believe I'm saying this. The character of the Millennium Falcon.
Why do you say you can't believe you're saying that?
Because the Millennium Falcon shouldn't even be a quote unquote character, but it is.
How did
It's
Solo hurt the Millennium Falcon? I'm not familiar with that.
the Millennium Falcon is run by a feminist bot.
Oh fuck. Okay. The thing is I've read the book on like Han Solo's lore and like where he comes from, how he got the Millennium Falcon and all that, like the independent novels. So I was thinking like, as far as I knew, Solo was gonna stick to that pretty much, but apparently I was fucking wrong. Thank God I skipped that one.
Yeah, apparently, before Solo like officially like got the Millennium Falcon, it was flown by Lando Calrissian and his sex bot, essentially, who also was like this feminist droid rights advocate. And uh, it, she quote unquote died. Uh, she got hit with
Good.
a bullet or whatever, and he plugged her um, hard drive into the Millennium Falcon.
Feminism marches on.
Yep.
I had forgotten about that. I'm Tomorrow I'm going to go back to forgetting about that.
Star Wars is
Guys,
beyond.
we've been at it for 3 hours and 45 minutes. We got to wrap it up pretty soon here.
Yep.
We're approaching the 4 hour mark.
We're good. We're good. He said what he needs to say.
All right. All right. I'm going to need to get some sleep soon here.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts, guys?
Don't watch this movie, but watch Mauler.
Yes,
2 thumbs up
absolutely.
on him.
Do whatever you want with your money. If you want to spend money to go see this movie, go for it. But, you've been warned. It seems like it's not going to be very good. Once again, take whatever I say with a huge grain of salt because I haven't actually seen the movie. I'm just taking Mauler's word for it. But he's pretty reliable from what I've seen of his stuff before.
Yeah, while this is an unbridled rage and he is very venomous towards the movie, he is also presenting the factual details of the scenes. He might embellish on his feelings toward what is being shown, but he doesn't change the details. He just lays it out as it is.
Rhino, any final thoughts?
So when I first saw the advertisements for this, my first thought was going to be that it was bland. Like, it just looked uninteresting. I just figured that they missed the mark. But Tom Holland Spider-Man stuff is usually pretty good. You know, if history was going to prove it was going to be at least like palatable and, worth watching just once. I don't think after seeing this I can say that, because I thought my biggest complaint would be that it would be either generic or it would just be like visually uninteresting. But they got their toxic fangs into it and they killed it slowly. They got all the hallmarks. They got a girl boss. They got a male character crying and being a big softie. It's just death by a thousand cuts.
Doesn't get much more girl boss than being a girl that can literally take complete control of an entire city
She can
And get
control
away
the
with
on a
it.
whim. And everyone knows that she was right all along. You go, girl.
Okay,
Uh,
while we're on this freeze frame, is anyone else seeing that? What is that on her over her right shoulder? That black square? Did they have to edit something out?
Yeah, I think this um, it might be some sort of watermark that
Oh,
was
okay.
edited out or something.
I was very confused for a second.
she's actually advanced her mind powers to the point where she's creating little black holes. But their graphics department doesn't know how to do circles. So they just did a square. Well, that's not a square. I know my shapes. That's a rectangle.
You're confusing this movie with Superman that came out from last year.
Okay, is
That
that what
was
I'm doing?
Lex Luthor creates black holes.
Oh, is that right? Oh man, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Psychic magnets. She surely has an advantage over them now.
All right, uh, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening as always. I've been TeddyGrizz. This has been Rhino Rocks and Gleeman. Look forward to seeing y'all next week. Till next time, take it easy.
Doodles.
Bye.